Radio, Sirius XM 91, and the Sirius XM app. It's soccer's most thrilling league.
Only the Premier League can make you feel like this.
And now every match is on the Sirius XM app.
Can you believe it?
From the title race.
This is remarkable.
Keeps this title charge on track, surely.
To the relegation fight.
The impossible may still be possible.
Hear every English Premier League match on Sirius XM FC 157 and the Sirius XM app. Just search for your favorite club. The biggest names in the game.
Trying to get behind, wrist the line, and walks in, put it between his legs, shoots it, score!
NHL play-by-play on Sirius XM.
Join me, Gord Stellick, and Scott Laughlin as we recap the night that was on NHL Morning Skate, weekday mornings at 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91.
The world's most thrilling league is now in the palm of your hand. Hear every English Premier League match all season long on the Sirius XM app. Just search for your favourite team.
The best hockey lives here.
Burns gets it back, stick handles to the backhand, moves in front, score!
NHL play-by-play on Sirius XM.
Leafs game night. Jim Taddy and Anthony Stewart with you. Bonesy and Ralphie at the bottom of the hour. Puck drop right in around 10:45-ish. So a little later than normal on a 7:30 their time start. But nonetheless, we grind on. So, Stu, let's go through this lineup because I don't know that there's a bunch of concern, but there's a lot of narratives out there. What area do you focus in when you have the concern meter out?
Again, it's... I'll preface this by saying, it's the issue with the lineup and the lack of the depth is, you got a lot of millions of dollars tied up in four players, right? So, you look at some of the depth now with the Tampa Bay Lightning, they obviously have the advantage of the tax breaks and so on. So for me, it's very, very tough to build a roster this way, right? So for me, Bobby McMahon on that second line, it really sort of has a bit of lack of depth in that bottom six, right? And, they got Scott Laughton, who's supposed to come in and be a stabilizer as a third line center. He hasn't really fit in so far. I think he's going to hit his stride a lot sooner than later. And that sort of now put a little bit of a onus on Domi to sort of now carry the load and be the go-to guy on that third line. And the issue with that, I think, for him has been consistency most of the year. He's been hot. He's been really, really hot, or he's been really, really cold, where with the bottom six, I think what you need is consistency, right? Nick Robertson, he's got, 13, 14 goals this year as well. He's been in and out of the lineup. You look at most of these guys, a lot of them have been in and out of the lineup most of the season, right? Lorentz has got 6 goals. Kampf was a scratch before. Same thing with Yankro coming back from injury with only 4 points in the games that he's been back. So for me, it's a little bit weak. And I'm thinking if you're playing against a Tampa Bay Lightning team, how are you going to really fare against, the Leaf killer in playoffs in Nick Paul, right? How are you going to do against that line? How are you going to do against a point if they drop him down? So I have a little bit of cause concern just because of that lack of depth. And then now, say it's against the Florida Panthers, who has, a $5 million centerman in Anton Lundell, who's probably one of the best third-line guys in the league. Same thing with Rodriguez. He's scored big goals in the playoffs. Listerainen. So that lack of depth, I think, can really have a little bit of a topsy-turvy with regards to the matchups. But what I believe, and I honestly believe that when those big four, the best versions of themselves, and 2.5 or 3 out of the 4 are going, I think that is enough to win games. But playoffs is a different story, and I think that depth can and eventually will hurt them, especially if the big guns aren't gunning every single night.
So I'm just going to cut through what you said there. I mean, really, if you go back over what you just said, it's very vital for Bobby McMahon to maintain his spot and stay and contribute where he is in the top 6, isn't it?
It is, right? And for me, it's like, well, what if he was there the whole entire season? Would he be with 26, 27 goals too? And he's been a very pleasant surprise, and he's getting better, every single year. But for me, it's like, where was the analytics on Laughton? And again, I think he will get there. Domi, you've seen him have success, playing on the flank with Austin Matthews as well. Nick Robertson, I'm imagining if he played every game this year, would he be at 20 goals? So I think, sort of that uneasiness on the coaching staff and trusting some guys, I think has sort of caused a bit of this issue. But ultimately, I think now with some of the guys on the outside looking in, maybe it's going to push them to elevate, knowing, hey, there's 10 games here where I can solidify myself. If I come in and play consistent and really earn my spot, I can have a constant in this lineup, especially in playoffs. And, I think it might be a little bit too late now to say, hey, you know what, Pacioretty is going to come in and save the day, right? He plays a very, very physical game, and at his age, there's going to be some injuries, and that's been sort of the case for him the last couple of years. I actually saw him at the OHL Cup the other day, but he looked like he was walking around pretty good. But for me, it's that depth. You need that depth, and you need to look at, that name, in that bottom six and say, you know what, I know exactly what I'm going to get from a Pontus Holmberg or a Lorentz or a Lawton or a Robertson, and I just think that inconsistency might hurt them come playoff time.
So again, I'm going to paraphrase what you said. Maybe I'm going to take this the wrong way, but really,
Leafs in 5.
Yeah, but I mean, really, there's no problem with Lawton, Domi, and Robertson being on the third line. It's that they haven't defined themselves.
Yes, right. Is it a forechecking lineup? Is it a group that gets the puck out? Are they going to win their faceoffs? Are they going to essentially get pucks out every single time along the wall? Are they going to be defensively aware? Right, and Lawton, I think, is caught in a dash, pretty much every single game. He almost finished -1 versus Philadelphia, but I think he got a plus near the end of the game. So again, I'm not saying they have to come in and play 1995 lockdown defense, but they just have to find a way to impact the game if they're not on the score sheet and impact it positively, right? And, sometimes, as Domi at center, yes, he provides some offense, right? 4 points in his last 10 games, and but sometimes they get caught in their end, and if you're caught in that end or you ice that puck, late in the third period and you're hemmed, that can be the difference between winning a game and losing and ultimately losing the series. So for me, it's just, what is that identity? And I go back to, the New York Islanders. There's a team. What's their identity? They're literally called the identity line. So just trying to find a way to create that identity. And, I think it's going to be a little bit tough with only, 11 games left. But for me, I could see one or two of those guys in the bottom six, elevating their game, which is going to help the Maple Leafs.
Okay, tell me if this makes any sense. I think that when you're talking about the bottom six forwards, not only do they have to be physically tough, defensively sound, but they have to create their own opportunities, don't they?
They do, and I think that's sort of what helped Bobby McMahon sort of stay in that top six. It doesn't matter who he plays with. He creates his opportunities with his legs, right? He gets it on the forecheck. He turns pucks over. Probably one of the most underrated speed in his arsenal in the whole entire National Hockey League, and he's a great job coming up, winning a battle, and getting to the net and tipping in pucks. So, for me, you see a Scott Lawton, seeing some of the goals out of his 6 goals, probably 4 of them have been highlight reel goals. I want to see that a little bit more, right? Max Domi, I want to see you a little bit now win your faceoffs and get pucks out and focus on being on top of your centerman and not getting lost in the D zone. So it's easier said than done. If it was easy, I'd still be playing at 40 years old instead of getting shut out on 3 breakaways against some beer leaguers. So it's tough. But for me, with this Maple Leafs team, I believe, and if you ask me, which top 6 would I rather have versus Florida or Tampa Bay? I would pick the Maple Leafs because Matthews, Marner, Tavares, Nylander, they can impact the game and change the tide of the game by themselves. And the fact that there's 4 of them, I think it's going to be too tough for some other teams to lock all 4 of them down.
I like the 4, but I also like the left wings. Nyes and McMahon. I mean, that's a nice 1-2 punch.
Yeah, well, they said you need a $6 or $7 million guy to have success, and that's probably going to be Nyes next year, right? And I think and every year it's a coming out party for somebody, and he did get injured last year, but I think he can have an impact just on the willingness to get in the corners, to fight through checks, to get to the net, and you've seen his scoring touch in and around the net. It's as good as anybody on this Maple Leafs team. So I think for him, this could be a coming out party where once he figures out exactly who he is, and that's sort of the crazy part. It's only his second year. He's playing as if he's been in the league for 5 years, right? So for him, I could see him having a big playoff series. Same thing with Bobby McMahon. But for me now, is it going to be a Robertson? Is it going to be a Lorentz? Holmberg? He's shown that he can do it. Who's going to be that other guy on the left side and bottom 6 that can be a difference maker?
I have a text here from a listener. It says, why did Stu rip off that, the 3 breakaway stops against the beer league player? What was that all about?
I was in a Hockey Helps the Homeless event, and there was a goaltender. I think he was a former pro, 6'9".
Oh.
And every time there was a penalty, you get a penalty shot. So me being the pro on the team, they told me to go out and shoot. I missed the first one. The second one, I miss it. And then there's another penalty. The other team was calling for me to come over the bench and take the penalty shot. I almost toe pick, and the worst move of all time. People are yelling Baggio. Like, I should have got off the ice, and they should have took my pro credentials away. But it happens. I'm usually good for a goal a game. But I tell everybody, if you want to see what a fridge would look like going down the 401 at full speed, that's me at this point in my beer league career.
Oh, boy. As long as the door's not open, it's okay.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. So we've zeroed in on the bottom six forwards. I mean, really, and you trumpeted the top six. I know you're a fan of the blue line and the goaltending. So, I mean, that's sort of, I guess something that can be fine-tuned is the bottom six. It's not a real concern, is it?
I don't think so, right? And there's going to be some pieces missing in this puzzle, and you can still present it and still get a passing grade, right? And, you go through the National Hockey League, which teams you can say have the depth on all four lines. They have 4D that are very, very solid, and they have a two-headed monster between the pipes. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. How many teams would you say are quote-unquote close to perfect? And I would say maybe 4, and majority of those teams are in the Western Conference. So that's the good thing is you probably won't have to see them to the Stanley Cup final, and by then they'll be decimated by injuries or just going into wars, in 7-game series. So I think that key is, and that's why it's so important for this Maple Leaf team to win the division, because they could end up playing, is it a Montreal or is it a Long Island? I hope it's not the Rangers, but a Long Island, because you win that round, Florida, Tampa Bay play each other. That could be 7 games. There might be an injury, or it might go 7 games with a couple overtimes, and then you can really catch them sleeping where you can get up to a 2-0 lead and set yourself up to be that favorite. And you do that, now you're in the conference final. And is it against a Carolina? Is it against? So I think that third round series, and yes, I'm getting very, very ahead of myself, could be a lot easier than that second round series, just based on how it can and, will play out, right? I'd rather Toronto play Washington than Florida or Tampa, right? I know they've been hitting their strides all year, and, a great team with only 15 losses so far this season. But that key, I think that's why it's very, very crucial for them to win this division.
So let's spend the last couple of minutes here going through the out-of-town scoreboard, which we rarely get an opportunity to do, but we can tonight. Minnesota 4-2 over Washington. That's done. Ovi did not score. He's going to get there, isn't he?
Oh, yeah, he's going to get there. He's going to put up, he'll do it with 2 games to spare. He's getting 1,000. You heard it here first. Not this year.
Yeah.
He will.
Okay, Tampa 8-0 over Utah. Gensel has 36 in the season. Point got his 36th. Kucherov got his 32nd. I mean, they steamrolled through a Utah hockey club that really had to win, but obviously Tampa's just flying right now. Other action: the Sabres 7-3 over the Penguins. So the Sabres thought if Philadelphia could continue to stumble, they might escape the basement in the East, but that's not going to happen, even though they won tonight. And of note in that game, Sidney Crosby now has 80 points on the season, and he will get that means I believe that's 20 consecutive. Does that make sense? 20 consecutive points per game seasons.
That's
wow.
Amazing. You know how many I've had? 0.0.
We have something in common, Stu. Something in common. We'll set up.
Go ahead.
Yeah, we'll set up the opening face-off for you next. Leafs Game Night on TSN 1050, the iHeartRadio app, and the Leafs Radio Network.
At Honda, we take pride in building the CR-V Sport here in Allison, Ontario. And with all-wheel drive, plus a suite of Honda sensing technologies, we made sure it can handle Ontario winters. But you're probably wondering, what's with the one-touch power moonroof? Well, Ontario, we hold on to the hope that one day winter will be over. Get ready for spring and adventure with the Honda CR-V Sport. Lease with rates from 1.99% for 36 months, plus get a $1,500 Honda bonus. OAC conditions apply. Made with domestic and imported parts. See HondaOntario.com.
Alpine News Network is here live with one of our superheroes.
Joe and Lucy needed a new roof and reached out to Alpine Credits. I flew over to help them with a home renovation loan. I suggested they transform their house into a giant robot head, beams that shoot from the eyes. Pew, pew! Instead, they just went with shingles. But it's pretty glorious.
Own your home? Need a loan? Alpine Credits can help.
Alpine Credits, where homeowners get approved.
Just for license 12616.
Hey everyone, Adney and Burke here to talk about our great podcast, NHL Unscripted with Burke and Demers.
Jason Demers here. After playing 700 NHL games, it turns out I have an opinion or two. Whoever's saying trade one of them, you don't know anything about hockey. I'm on the bandwagon. I'm rooting for this team. With new guests every week, we will talk about hockey and more.
Can't wait till you watch this movie because it's the biggest award of her career.
He went into the cheetah exhibit. The cheetah took a piece out of him, and he came into the ring the next day.
Tune in to NHL Unscripted with Burke and Demers, the iHeartRadio app, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Whatever the weather, CMC Markets is here to help. Planning for a rainy day? Enjoy $0 commission on U.S. and Canadian share CFDs. Riding out the storm? Get ahead of the curve with lightning-fast execution speeds. Blue skies ahead? Go with the trusted broker backed by over 30 years experience. Switch to CMC Markets and join over 275,000 global traders. Learn more at cmcmarkets.ca. FX spreads apply. CFDs involve a high degree of risk. Member Canadian Investor Protection Fund. Umbrella not included.
California, here we come. 3-4 nights, starting with this one in San Jose. The Sharks are the worst in the league. Is that a concern? It wasn't Tuesday night when the Leafs pushed the visiting and struggling Flyers aside. The second line dominated. Will that happen again tonight, or will another line take over? Well, let's find out. Molson Canadian Leafs hockey starts now.
It's time for Molson Canadian Leafs hockey on TSN 1050 and the Leafs Radio Network. The Leafs live here.
Oh, yes, they do. And getting set to battle the Sharks in San Jose. Welcome to Molson Canadian Leafs hockey on TSN 1050, the iHeartRadio app, and the Leafs Radio Network. Jim Taddy and former NHLer Anthony Stewart with you. In about 10 minutes or so, Bonesy and Ralphie will take over. The starting lineup for the Leafs goes like this, much like it did the other night. Matthews between Marner and Nyes, Tavares centering Nylander and McMahon, Domi centering Robertson and Lawton, Camp centering Yarncroke and Lorentz, McCabe, Tanev, Riley, Carlo, Benoit, OEL, the pairings on the blue line, and Wall starts in goal. What do you make of all that, Stu?
Definitely very, very top-heavy, too, but I think it's an opportunity now against the San Jose team who's been struggling as of late for other teams to other lines to sort of come out of a bit of a slump and find a way to get on the score sheet, right? Scott Lawton still looking for his first points in a Maple Leafs uniform. You know, he's on the flank with Domi and Robertson. I think it's an opportunity for them to maybe break out of their slump, and, great job by Tavares and his line the other night, having 5 of the team's 7 goals, and Bobby McMahon scoring his 20th of the season, too. So this is the game now that I'm really looking for the Auston Matthews team line to really dominate, right? Him, Mitch Marner, Matthew Nyes. And I can see Nyes getting in on the forecheck early, getting to the net, and Auston Matthews continue to, put up points that he has in the last 10, 12 games. So for me, I'm looking for a solid effort. Stay out of the penalty box as this San Jose team, has some players that can put the puck in the net. Toffoli's at 25 goals. We're looking at, Celebrini, who's got 21 and 52 points. Eklund's got 52 points as well, too. So as a team, they're not necessarily strong, but they have some individual players that can be game breakers. So if I'm Toronto, continue to play that Craig Berube-based system. Don't take too many crazy chances and let the system take over and your natural talent as it has against the Philadelphia Flyers.
Tonight's Coach's Comment is powered by your Ontario Honda dealers. Score a $1,500 Honda bonus in the CRV Sport. Conditions apply. Visit HondaOntario.com for further details. The Leafs penalty kill, 78.2, 16th in the league, and Coach Berube on improving the PK.
You look at, just for example, face-offs, and you win a draw, your clears, getting it down the ice, your clears on breaking a puck up in the D zone on a PK, getting the clears. Those clears are important. And just structure-wise, just sticking with the structure, and you always make little adjustments against power plays, depending on what they're doing, but, just Simple things like that, blocking shots around our net, being good around our net on a PK. You know, those things are very important down the stretch.
What did you learn about the Sharks team early in the season?
They got a lot of skill. Their power play's clicking too. You know, their power play's been really good lately. The last 10 games, I think it's running like a 28% clip. It's pretty high. Celebrini is a real good player. He's going to be, and you know, the Smith kid. They got some guys that can scoot and make plays, and you know they're talented players. So you can't come in here and take anybody lightly, including this team. You know, we got to check well. We got to be on our toes. We got to be good, solidly defensively, and manage the hockey puck. You know, I think sometimes you tend to get a little loose sometimes, you know, coming in here or other buildings where the teams aren't in the playoffs and where they're at in the standings, and you try to do too much with the puck and you end up turning it over in bad areas and not playing to the identity, and that's going to be key tonight, playing to our identity.
How much do you lean into the Sharks going into your building and getting a win?
Yeah, well, go back to that game. We're up 2-0. We scored 2 PP goals, I believe. You know, we didn't generate a ton 5-on-5 against them, and I know we were a little bit gassed. But, you know, they came back in that game and ended up winning in a shootout. You know, this team's not going to give up. They play with a lot of juice. You know, they're excited, this team. You know, even though where they're at in the standings, they got good young players coming. They got a new identity. You know, they're feeling good. Like, you know, they're playing. And they're going to play as hard.
The opening faceoff is next. This is Molson Canadian Leafs Hockey on TSN 1050 and the Leafs Radio Network.
The countdown to history is on. Alexander Ovechkin, one of the greatest to ever play the game, is chasing hockey immortality. Every goal brings him closer to legend status. And SiriusXM is your front row seat to the action.
Alex Ovechkin!
Live every game, plus catch exclusive interviews with those who know him best. Former teammates, coaches, and legends of the game on the SiriusXM app.
Brad Ovechkin scores!
The Great Chase is on NHL Network Radio.
The Power Play with Steve Koulias.
General manager of the Winnipeg Jets, Kevin Cheveldayoff. What would finishing first overall mean to the organization, Kevin?
Well, I think anytime that, you know, you can finish in an area where you're getting recognized, it's special. But again, the important thing for us is process. Is when we buy into playing the way we need to play, then, you know, we feel comfortable that we'll win more games than not. And then you let the chips fall where they may.
The Power Play, weekdays 3 p.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91, and the SiriusXM app. The Point with Boomer Gordon.
For months, I've been listening to hockey people warn the Sabres. Don't move on from Dylan Cousins. This is the one you'll regret. The fact that you're trading in division is amazing to me. This guy can come back and haunt you like every Sabre does. But if I'm an Ottawa Senators fan, Jake, I'm over the moon on this trade.
Point with Boomer Gordon. 1 p.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91, and the SiriusXM app.
It's soccer's most thrilling league.
Only the Premier League can make you feel like this.
And now every match is on the SiriusXM app.
Can you believe it?
From the title race.
This is remarkable!
Keeps this title charge on track, surely!
To the relegation fight.
The impossible may still be possible.
Hear every English Premier League match on SiriusXM FC 157 and the SiriusXM app. Just search for your favorite club. We deliver the NHL.
And I just wonder, Berkey, what your thoughts are on the Capitals. They are Exhibit A as to why a retool can work.
Yes, but it's early. Haven't had a playoff run yet. A lot of people taking bows right now that shouldn't be. I really like this coach. I think Chris Patrick, the GM, has done a real nice job. It is a retool, right? And the goaltending's been spectacular, but let's see. Don't pick out a parade route yet, boys.
SiriusXM, NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91.
The best player analysts and insiders live on NHL Network Radio. Mike Johnson.
If you would have asked me, what's the one record that would never, ever, ever be broken? Was the 894 goals. Every single day he scores, that's sort of the lead story in the NHL. And yet here's Ovi about to do it, and he's going to push through 900 goals, and he could push to 1,000 if he wanted to if he played 3 more seasons.
Get the latest opinion and analysis you need on the home of hockey, NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91, and the SiriusXM app.
Hey, Jim Rome here. What's cracking?
Hi.
Hope you're enjoying the game, and when you're not taking in a game, find us on Sirius Channel 161, XM Channel 206. In fact, we'll be there every weekday afternoon, 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Time. If you've got something you want to break down from this game, you know where to find us. Just make sure you have a take and don't suck.
Step your game up.
That has never changed. In fact, the show has never changed. We're just back home, and it's great to be there. Sirius 161, XM 206. See you there.
Join me, Gord Stellick, and Scott Laughlin as we recap the night that was on NHL Morning Skate, weekday mornings at 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91.
Along with Jake McCabe and the Austin Matthews line getting set at center ice as the puck is dropped and we're underway. The starting lineup brought to you by Molson, the official beer sponsor of the Toronto Maple Leafs. Leafs to the right and the Sharks to the left. As it is tipped to the San Jose blue line, and the Sharks will punch it out at center ice as Makamadullin gets it into the zone. McCabe and Tanev exchanging the disc. It comes back to McCabe. He'll try the left wing side where Nyes is able to deflect it down into the zone. Celebrini going back to retrieve it, turns the puck over, Nylander in, and the shot was blocked there by the defenseman Mario Ferraro. Puck out into the center ice area. Celebrini in on the right side, stops up at the blue line, finds a man open on the far wing, long shot, first save of the game, made by Joseph Woll, will bring a face-off. Woll comes in 24-13-0, 2.74 and a .907 save percentage. Second time he's played against the Sharks. He beat them the last time, giving up just one goal.
We were talking before we went on the air that hopefully this is a game where you might need Joseph Woll the first 5 or 7 minutes. Let the Leafs get their legs. Keep San Jose off the board.
Here's a rolling puck in front that is pushed aside. And McMahon will launch it down into the zone, but it's going to end up being an icing. As fresh ice, he couldn't get to it as he played it in off the boards to himself.
Now, San Jose 1942-9 on the season. But 8 of their wins have come against playoff teams, including the Leafs, when they came back from a 2-0 deficit in the third period, won 3-2 in a shootout. They've beaten Toronto. Of late, they've beaten Toronto, Buffalo, Chicago, and Boston.
Shot deflects to the side of the Leaf goal. Back of the net, Morgan Riley gets it up on the wing. And now McMahon will skate it out at center. Trying to flip it in over the line. It was knocked back out at center, and Nylander is there. Nylander up on the right side for McMahon, getting it in over the line and into the corner. McMahon trying to protect the puck, got it in front. Tavares tried to spin to get it back to the blue line, but it was intercepted, and the Sharks will bring it to the line and in on the right side. Toffoli to the line, a shot, and that came right off the pad of goaltender Joseph Woll. Good scoring chance early here for San Jose. Chopped out at center ice and down into the Sharks' end. The SAP Arena in downtown San Jose. When we got to travel there, it was always a loud building, a flat ceiling made of metal, and it really did carry the noise in there, especially during the playoffs so many years ago. And that wonderful series. Now here is Domi working in over the line, centered in front, and a shot taken by Lawton, went just wide of the goal. Puck comes back into the center ice area. Leafs regroup it at their own blue line. McCabe up ahead for Lawton to Domi, who cuts across the line to Robertson. Robertson back of the net. Domi trying to play it along for Lawton. It'll come to the point where Riley is able to keep it in. Shot went wide. Lawton back of the goal into the corner for Domi. Now for Robertson, a one-timer that was blocked. Lawton couldn't come up with the rebound, and the Sharks have it under control back in their own zone with Desharnais going around back of the net. Third jerseys for the Sharks as it's played down into Toronto territory. Wall out of the net. Kind of stumbled there, and the puck went right by him, but no damage done. And now the Leafs with it, and Oliver Ekman-Larsson gets it ahead. A saucered pass finds David Kampf onto the right wing side for Yarncrook. Back into the corner. Lorenz couldn't come up with it. And the Sharks have airmailed it high into neutral ice. Bouncing it to the blue line, but unable to get in was Grundstrom. And San Jose have to go back to their own blue line to regroup. Now an errant pass has gone into the Toronto zone. Wall out of the cage to play it up on the wing. It comes to the line, but not out. Chopped at there by Benoit. Benoit takes his man efficiently in against the end boards. Camp trying to help out along the wall, pries the puck free. It'll go into the near boards, and Nyes, who is off the bench, is able to get it out into the center ice area and steps into his man as the Leafs regroup it back in their own zone. A pass comes to the line and out. Brought on now by David Camp, who needs to get to the bench. Cross the line for Marner, now to Nyes. Couldn't get a shot away. Nyes along the near boards at the half wall, sends it around back at the net. It is Georgiev in goal for the San Jose Sharks. They have two Russians, Romanov and Georgiev, as the two goaltenders. Here are the Sharks in the Leaf zone. A centering pass, and a quick shot is swallowed up by Wall off the stick of the much celebrated Macklin Celebrini.
Should be celebrated among the leaders at points, only behind Layton Hudson of Montreal in total points. He's now ahead of Mitch Goff, the Philadelphia Flyer that we saw a couple of nights ago.
They don't trust us with such important things as Rookie of the Year, but if you did have a vote,
I think I'd go Lane Hudson. I think there's some for him to do what he's doing, and Montreal has been incredible as a defenseman.
And yeah, tougher position. I agree. Played to center ice. Now, if Calgary got hot and got in.
Yeah, Dustin Wolf, I think, has to be in that conversation.
Yep, here the Sharks in with a shot. Good save made by Wall. And your suggestion about him being hot here for the first 5 minutes, well, we've got 13 seconds before he doesn't have to be hot. Here's a long shot, and he stops that as well. There's going to be a face-off in the Toronto zone.
Yeah, Leafs have had some looks in the offensive zone, but San Jose, I mean, this is, 3-on-3. And somehow you get a guy wide open. It's Timothy Liljegren leading the rush. And Tyler Toffoli, who scored against the Leafs, I believe he had the tying goal, did he not? And then the shootout winner.
Face off in the Toronto zone. No score in the game. And the face-off is brought to you by Alpine Credits. You own your own home and need a loan. Alpine Credits can help. Get approved at alpinecredits.ca. Played around the boards. It'll come to the near side. Lawton unable to track it down. Kept alive by the Sharks. Delandria goes back to the point. It comes now to Desharnais. Shot blocked and pushed out at center ice, and Scotty Lawton racing after it. Into the far corner he goes, trying to chip it out in front of the net for Robertson, who couldn't get a shot away. Now he sends it towards the net, but it goes off a skate, and Karam's all the way back into the center ice area. Chris Tanev going back to retrieve the puck. Brought out at center. Long shoot-in. Deflected wide of the goal by Georgiev. Played into the slot area, but the Sharks come up with it and get it ahead, only to have it intercepted, and David Camp back in over the line. Lorenz goes after it into the near corner. Gets a hit in there on Carlson. The puck comes free, and the Sharks are going to get it out into neutral ice and shoot it into the Leaf end. Round on the near boards for Riley. Riley just plays to center. San Jose will backtrack to their own blue line, and Liljegren. A pass through the neutral zone to get it in over the line. Three Leafs get onto the puck on the near boards and try to tie it up. Brandon Carlo has it wedged there against his skate. Leafs trying to chop it for another foot to get it outside the line. And apparently they did, because the whistle has gone for an offside. And we can introduce the officials, who are Cody Beach and Kyle Raymond, the referees. Trent Knorr and Brandon Grino are the linesmen. It is a 0-0 tie. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN 1050 and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
They are going to the Sweet 16.
Hear every game of the men's and women's NCAA tournament on Sirius XM. Listen to Westwood One's coverage on your radios and on the Sirius XM app, so you don't miss an upset or a buzzer beater.
3 for the win. It's good. It's good. It's good.
To find game channels, go to SiriusXM.com/sports or search March Madness to hear Westwood One's coverage on the Sirius XM app.
They lead wire to wire. A thrilling finish.
We deliver the NHL.
And I just wonder, Berkey, what your thoughts are on the Capitals. They are Exhibit A as to why a retool can work.
Yes, but it's early. Haven't had a playoff run yet. A lot of people taking bows right now that shouldn't be. I really like this coach. And Chris Patrick, the GM, has done a real nice job. It is a retool, right? And the goaltending's been spectacular, but let's see. Don't pick out a parade route yet, boys.
Sirius XM NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91. The best player analysts and insights.
Hey, you! Yeah, you! This is Joe Bowen, the voice of the Toronto Maple Leafs. Are you checking your bracket during the commercial break like the rest of us? Thanks for chatting it up and enjoying this March Madness live hangout with us. So why not make it official? Hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell so you never miss a live game. We're on a mission to hit 100,000 insiders. And you can help us grow this amazing community of sports fans making a difference. Join the conversation, keep it classy, and we'll see you in the chat. Good luck to your team and your bracket. Quinn Hughes, 42. Cale Makar, 41. I mean, shows you the kind of season that Tanev has had and how important he is as far as the Leafs are concerned. He is just a tremendous shutdown defenseman. And he has the puck now as he brings it in over the line. Goes to the net with a redirect, and that was stopped by Georgiev. He almost turned into an offensive defenseman. Brought back into the Toronto zone. Celebrini trying to send it into the corner. It'll come around back of the net. Will Smith trying to get it in front, and it's going to go off the boards and all the way back into Shark territory.
As soon as you gave me that stat, I thought of how he got hung out to dry on 2 2-on-1 goals against the Nashville in the same period.
Played down into the Toronto zone. Swept around the boards by Wall. Leafs don't clear it, and now here's Bobby McMahon trying to get it out, and a one-timer was blasted just wide of the net. That was a pretty good one-timer because it looked like it was going to bounce on a little flip that was towards the blue line. Around the boards now for Graf. Couldn't get to it. Back to the point. A long shot goes wide. Another centering pass to Wenberg on the near half boards into the slot. Here are the Leafs surrounding that man, but leaving one open. And a centering pass is stopped by Wall. The rebound scores. Tyler Toffoli in front of the net. And the Leafs have started in neutral, and it's cost them the opening goal of the game.
You go back to that one-timer, Joe, that you said, I mean, it was about 30 feet in the air and landed. That was Bobby McMahon had an opportunity to get it out and tried to flip it on the backhand and only moved it about 15 feet forward. Sharks never do give the puck up, and the Leafs, horrible coverage. Down low, Simon Benoit gets pulled away from the front of the net. Oliver Ekman-Larsson was able to block the first attempt. The second one gets over to Toffoli. And Toffoli has his 26th of the year league leader for the San Jose Sharks.
So the Maple Leafs trail 1-0 and being outshot 7-2. Earlier tonight, the Tampa Bay Lightning wiped out Utah and are tied currently with the Leafs and Florida for first place in the Atlantic. Morgan Riley skating to center with a pass. Robertson in on the wing. Got a shot away. Big rebound. Bounced over the stick of Lawton in front of the net. Cleared back in on the far side for Patrick Gillies. He gets it into the slot area. That was tipped in along the boards. And Domi knifing it up on the wing, but it won't clear, and a long shot is blocked in front of the net. And now Domi getting control of the puck on the near wing will shoot it in, and that's the signal for the Leafs to get a change started. Toffoli at 7:49, and as Jimmy mentioned, his 26th of the season. And it's 1-0 Sharks. Played down into the Leaf end. It's going to be an icing call. 11:13 to play in the first period. Sharks come in having gone 2-5-0 in their last 7. Maple Leafs are 4-1-0 in their last 5.
They've got that number now. San Jose has beaten 6 teams that are currently in a playoff spot right now. That includes the Leafs, Washington, St. Louis, Tampa, New Jersey, and the Los Angeles Kings. They've actually swept New Jersey in the 2 games this year and have defeated the LA Kings twice.
Riley's centering pass comes back on the wing. Shot blocked before it reached the goal from Marner. He gets it back to the point. Oliver Ekman-Larsson into Matthews. His shot went off a leg and goes high into the near corner. Nyes after it, but it goes around back of the net. Matthews trying to get there ahead of the forecheck and can't. It's grabbed off then by Pajoni, and it'll be played out into the center ice area. And then it ends up going in the crowd. So face-off will come in the neutral zone with 10:44 left to play in the first period, and the Sharks leading 1-0.
How much longer do you give them before you say, okay, it's not an excuse anymore? The time changed and the travel and everything else. I mean, the Leafs, midway through the first period, they got to start showing a little more jump at the other end. But really, it's been their defensive play that's been atrocious here to start.
Draw scrum, grabbed off, poked into the zone then by Lorenz. He tries to get in on the forecheck and does with a hit on Liljegren, but the Sharks are going to outlet and bring it out into the center ice area. Brought in on the right side and poked down into the corner there by Ostapchuk. It comes back to the point. Now a shot in traffic is knocked away by Wall. 1-0 in favor of the San Jose Sharks. Sharks have it in their own zone. Grunstrom back to the point it comes. Over on the left wing side. Getting there was Lorenz trying to break it up. He gets it now and is able to outlet it at center. And the Leafs are going to turn back with Jarnkrok getting things stretched out in order to get a change of players going here for Toronto. Puck in the center ice area with Domi dropping it back. Grabbed off there by Robertson. Fed ahead and chipped in over the line by the Maple Leafs Lawton, but that didn't connect. Puck back into the center ice zone. Sharks will stretch things out. Leafs have been outshot 8-3 halfway through period number 1. Played by the former Leaf Liljegren into the zone. Deflected into the corner by goaltender Wall, but maintained by the Sharks, who play it around back of the net. Riley punches it up the boards. It'll be bouncing and pushed out at center ice. And here's Domi getting it up on the wing and now on the left wing side for Lawton. Little stutter step in a shot, and that was kicked away by Georgiev. Played out at center ice now by San Jose. Sharks twisting with it, and Eklund tries to get it to the line and in. Works to the right wing side. Down into the corner. Eklund taken off the puck, and Matthews has it under control. Getting it to Benoit. Benoit unable to get it out. At the point, a long shot deflected in front of the goal. Toffoli was there again. Another shot stopped on the shoulder by Wall. Comes back to the point. D-to-D pass. Here's Macamadoulan trying to get a shot in, and that was blocked. Down into the corner for Wenberg. Wenberg curling out back to Macamadoulan, and a shot that's blocked. A big rebound, and Toffoli couldn't deliver it, but good pressure here from San Jose, and a shot stopped and smothered by Wall. And the fans appreciative of a team that has really struggled this year of how they have come out and dominated the first part of this game. 1-0 San Jose, and you're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN 1050 and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
From the biggest stadiums to the coziest holes in the wall, from house parties to porch hangs to pride celebrations, from your favorite fuzz shop to your local Indian spot, from noodle bars to sports bars to salsa bars. There's a Molson with your name on it. Canadian Ultra XL. Molson. Everyone in. Must be legal drinking age.
Alpine News Network is here live with one of our superheroes.
I don't want to say I'm a big deal, but I am a superhero. I love helping people consolidate their debts, and that's what I did for the Smiths. I took their bills and zoom! Wha-bam! Zap! Turn them into one low monthly payment. No, the sound's not necessary, but it's part of the fun.
Own your home? Need a loan? Alpine Credits can help.
Alpine Credits, where homeowners get approved. Just for license 12616.
Touchdown.
Great catch.
Give me a high five.
5 minutes later.
Interception.
Awesome play.
Give me a high five.
2 hours later.
Eddie, did you order 20 high five specials from 2-for-1 Pizza?
You kept asking for high fives.
I meant... never mind. I'm hungry.
High five. Buy any large traditional pizza and get up to 3 medium one-topping pizzas for just $5 each.
2 for 1 pizza. 2 for 1.
Tyler Toffoli from Carlson and Lilligren at 7:50. And the Maple Leafs trail 1-0 here in the first period. And Joseph Woll has been excellent.
You see Craig Berube offering some not-so-quiet words of encouragement on the bench.
You sure it was encouragement?
I don't know how else you would describe it.
Describe it? Poignant?
Vile?
Forceful? Loud? Leafs win the draw. McMahon pushes it down the left wing boards. Got a chance with a shot. And Georgiev had that go off his shoulder and go wide. Leafs come up with it. Nylander back to the point. Off to the far side for Tanev. Tanev sends it directly wide of the net, hoping for a bounce in front that didn't happen. Now McCabe centers. There's Tavares around back of the net, trying to get it in front, has it again. Tavares saucers it off for Bobby McMahon. McMahon back around the boards, too far for Tavares. Tanev gets there to push it back of the net. Now Nylander in the far corner. Got it freed up. McMahon with a shot. That was stopped. Tavares in front. McMahon getting a loose puck and had to go off a leg and went wide. Best shift of the game for the Leafs. Now a shot by Nylander hits the side of the goal. Willie's got it around back of the net. Coming out in front. Couldn't get a shot away. And then it's pushed out into neutral ice by Colin Graff and sent into the Leaf end. Best shift of the game for Toronto right there. 7:23 to go here in the period. Tanev, a pass off a skate, gets into Shark territory. Matthews in pursuit, couldn't come up with it. Fed along the boards by Cannoni, and it's back in along the wall for the Leafs. And now here's Riley sending it high, deep into the zone. Graff getting it along the boards, but couldn't get it out. And now it's up onto the far wing, and Dellandrea will send it in over the line, and in the slot a shot, and swallowed up by Woll off the stick of Cannoni, and it will be held for a face-off coming in the Toronto zone.
Well, Leafs unable to follow up the shift by the Tavares line and get some opportunities once again. Georgiev really hasn't been forced to make a great stop yet, but the McMahon combination with Tavares and Willie Nylander able to get 2 shots on goal during that last stretch. Leafs have just given up way too much in their own end.
Pontus Holmberg and Philip Myers, the scratches tonight. So Leafs going with the same lineup they had the other night.
Sure, you might see different lineups back-to-back games against LA and Anaheim over the weekend.
Draw in the Toronto zone. Kemp, leaning on his stick, was able to win the face-off cleanly. Pontus, or at least Oliver Ekman-Larsson, got it to the line, but not out. And then it apparently was out, and then brought back in offside by.
Well, if it wasn't out, the linesman provided pretty good interference there, didn't he? 43 to go. The Sharks will miss the playoffs this year. It'll be their 6th straight time missing the postseason.
But they were pretty good, weren't they?
From 94 to 2019, they only missed 4 times. And now it's going to be 6 in a row.
Yeah, well, that was Joe Thornton and Patrick Marleau. Pretty good group.
Joe Pavelski.
Yeah, round the boards in the Toronto zone. Yarncrook takes his man to the boards. Cannoni couldn't get 3. Now backhanding it to the point is Grundstrom, and another long shot and another save by Woll. And face-off again coming in the Toronto end. And Joey Woll has been the reason that this has not gotten extended past the 1-0 opportunity that is on the board for San Jose.
You know, again, I saw somebody posted strength of schedule. You see the Montreal Canadiens, They get Philadelphia in back-to-back nights, but lose to the Flyers. Flyers out of a playoff picture. Montreal barely holding on. So that's similar to this game between the Leafs and San Jose, right? You say one team needs it a lot more than the other, but
one team is also playing with house money, and there's going to be a penalty here, I believe.
Yeah,
McCabe is upset, but he got slew-footed a little bit.
But he's got to take the power play and not retaliate and make this a 4-on-4. I believe it was Delandria.
Yep.
Kind of.
53 has 2 minutes for tripping.
And now the Leaf power play, which has been hot of late, 5th overall now in the National Hockey League. Remember they had slipped about 15 or 16 at one point.
And it's brought to you by your Ontario Subaru dealers. Enjoy spring to the fullest with symmetrical full-time all-wheel drive. Visit your local Subaru dealer to book a test drive today. Last 5 games, 6 of 9 the Leafs have scored. And they win the face-off cleanly. Marner walks the line to the far side to find Matthews. Matthews back to Marner. One-timer on the near side from Willie was deflected wide of the goal. Matthews corrals it on the far half boards. Tries to stretch it out with a bank pass back to Marner in front of the net. Nylander tried to send it back. It goes back instead to Marner. Now on the far side for Matthews. Matthews in front of the net. Tavares couldn't secure it. And it is stolen and set out and down the ice by the Sharks. Marner starts back up ice. He drops it back, and now Nylander will carry through neutral ice with speed to the line and in. Works to the left wing side, still with it. Into the near corner, off a skate in front. Stolen nicely by Nyes. In front of the net, they score! What a play by Matthew Nyes! It looked like it was going to be iced, but Nyes steals it, and Willie Nylander is the beneficiary as he fires home the tying goal.
And a career high now for Willie Nylander, 41. And it's Nylander, Joe, that gets into the San Jose zone that allows the Leafs to set up. But it was the stick lift by Matthew Nyes when it looked like Vinny Desharnais was going to be able to clear the puck in front of his own net. But Nyes reaches, lifts the stick, and then throws it over to Willie Nylander, who's got the empty net to snap it into. 3rd straight year for Willie Nylander at the 40-goal mark, but 41 is now his highest.
Played down into the Toronto zone, and so the lead power play continues to be red hot as they chip it down into the zone, and David Camp goes into the forecheck. Round the boards now. McCabe is able to keep it in. A centering pass, though, is intercepted. And the Sharks will bank it out at center to the Toronto blue line, only to have it knocked right back into San Jose territory. Sharks regaining possession and come to center. Desharnais got it into the line, but couldn't get over the line. And now brought back the other way on the near boards. Robertson unable to pressure. And Domi couldn't come up with it as it's sent high into the Toronto end. Quickly played back out. Brought on now by Lawton. Drop pass for Domi. Domi closing with a shot. Blockered away nicely by Georgiev. Back to the point. Leafs keeping it in, and back of the net is Lawton. Back pass to the blue line and a shot coming, and that was stopped by Georgiev. Good pressure here from the Maple Leafs as it'll be brought to center ice now by Makamadulan, and he'll send it down into the Toronto zone. Long shot stopped on the short side, pushed out into the slot into the Toronto zone, back to the point. Makamadulan a shot. That was off the mark wide. Another shot from an angle is stopped by Wall on the short side. Lawton gets it off the boards, and it's going to be launched high out and down the ice. But is it going to go over the line? No. Leafs catch a break there, no icing, and they'll get a change of most of their forwards, and now Domi will complete that. Sharks get it to center, and I think the puck hit one of the San Jose players trying to get off the ice.
Yeah,
John Tavares is pleading that there might be too many men.
Yeah, that's not called when a guy's leaving the ice. That's what they call it, early or late substitution. I don't think the Leafs will get gifted a power play.
Nylander with the tying goal. It's 1-1. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN 1050 and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
The countdown to history is on. Alexander Ovechkin, one of the greatest to ever play the game, is chasing hockey.
Cheers, insiders and basketball fans worldwide. Joe Bowen here, the Hall of Fame voice of the Toronto Maple Leafs. Thanks for joining us for the SickKids Bracket Mania campaign on TSI, making a real difference in our Toronto community. From Toronto to Tokyo, Sudbury to Singapore, TSI is everywhere. Remember, a portion of every game's revenue goes directly to SickKids Hospital. Check out the live viewer map at TorontoSportsInsider.com. Let us know where you're watching from. Let's keep growing this global movement.
You heard the man. Go check the link that you see flying through the chat right now. It's also pinned in the description, and let us know where you're watching from and see where the rest of the world's watching from with us tonight. Good luck to your team.
You believe it!
From the title race.
This is remarkable! Keeps this title charge on track, surely!
To the relegation fight.
The impossible may still be possible!
Hear every English Premier League match on Sirius XM FC 157 and the Sirius XM app. Just search for your favorite club.
Join me, Scott Laughlin, and Gord Stellick, along with former NHLer Mike Johnson for NHL Morning Skate. Weekday morning, 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91.
If you're staying up with us, or are you stupid? But anyway, it's a late night. I see the Maple Leaf Hot Stove folks are up with us. They're providing the highlights again on X, which is great. So we thank you for tuning in and being up late. Used to get a lot of people who had to work shift work and stuff of that nature that would be able to listen to us. Not sure how much shift work is still involved in the economy these days as the bouncing puck goes in on the Sharks goaltender, cleared into the corner. Tavares, a little reverse move, now sends it back now for McMahon. McMahon tries the same thing but was knocked off stride. Nylander helps out to play it around the boards. Pinching down is Benoit. It'll come to the line. Knocked away by Tavares, but played back into the Toronto zone. And Oliver Ekman-Larsson goes back and retreats behind the Toronto net. He'll get it up on the left wing. Benoit to the red line, and in it goes. Down around the boards to the far side. Trying to come in front of the net was Robertson. That was knocked away, and it's back to the Toronto blue line. And Tanev gives it off to his defense partner, who gets it ahead at center. Matthews turning, plays it off into the near boards for McCabe. He's going to flip it back into his own zone. Matthews protecting the puck, but then lost it. Comes up on the wing. Nyes is able to knock it down and get it out into neutral ice. And a whistle. Well, something's going on here that the camera hasn't found yet. Nyes is involved in it. Now we get a shot of it up against the glass.
I don't believe the whistle went until San Jose touched the puck.
Nyes and Lucas Carlson getting involved. Although we have not seen a replay of it. And is it from the reaction of the crowd?
Oh, and it was against Mitch Marner, not Nyes. Nyes must have come in after the fact. But, oh yeah, I mean, this is whether you want to call it interference or boarding, but Marner is just standing along the boards waiting for the puck to leave the Leaf zone, and Carlson comes in and just cross-checks him into the boards. And fortunately, Mitch Marner's okay, and he'll be out here for the power play.
And the second power play opportunity is brought to you by your Ontario Subaru dealers. Enjoy spring to the fullest with symmetrical full-time all-wheel drive. Visit your local Subaru dealer to book a test drive today. Leafs goal came with the man advantage. Marner got the face-off into the slot near side. Willie trying to find Matthews on the far side, but it's broken up and brought to center ice by Colin Graff. Graff trying to get into the slot area, scores! Short-handed goal for the San Jose Sharks after they coughed the puck up in the offensive zone.
Fifth shorthanded goal of the season for San Jose. Seventh time the Leafs have allowed one. And it looks like they've got numbers back. It's a 2-on-3. But Graf makes a nice move to pull up and cut between three Leafs. And go wide on the forehand and let it go from the right wing circle back the other way, blocker side on wall, and San Jose has regained a 1-goal lead.
First shorthanded goal of the season for Graf. And a 2-1 lead. Here's McMahon dropping it back to Riley onto the left wing side for Domi. Domi's pass came in front, the backhand. Off the stick of McMahon, was stopped by Georgiev, and it's shot down the ice by the Sharks. Minute 20 to go on the power play.
Craig Berube right away went to the second unit.
Now a drop pass and another turnover, but stolen back by Domi. Domi works to the line and in. Stops up at the blue line. Drops it off on the left wing for Bobby McMahon. Rung around the boards to the far side. It'll come back to the point. Domi keeping it alive on the far half boards. Banks it back to the blue line for Oliver Ekman-Larsson. Over on the right wing side now for Robertson. Robertson holds, still with it. Back to the point. Oliver Ekman-Larsson to Domi. Domi closes with a shot. Oh, and he whistled that high, and it may have grazed the crossbar, but it's gone up into the screen and out of play.
Well, counting the power play today that the Leafs are 1 for 1 on, they were 12 for 27 in the last 11 plus games. So the power play has certainly been a difference maker for them. Here, Max Domi. Do it. Bobby McMahon had a pretty good opportunity in front, and I would imagine we get the number 1 unit back out.
And they do, and Marner gets a face-off win and works the blue line in on the right side. Tried to center for Willie, but it was deflected high, and Nylander had to go to the near boards to retrieve it. He'll play it back to the blue line to Marner to the far side for Matthews. Couldn't handle the pass. Matthews with it again. Back to the point to Marner. Marner to Matthews. Matthews back to Marner to Matthews again. Closes wide, can't shoot it. Dips it off now for Nylander. Top of the circles and turning on the near side. Nylander still with it down into the goal line area. Now back to the blue line. It'll go to the far side, and a one-timer taken by Matthews. He may have broken his stick. The puck goes back to the net for Nyes. Nyes with a second left in the power play. Still with it in the far corner. Back to even strength of the Sharks, having taken the lead on a shorthanded goal, and now 18 seconds left in a big first period for the home side as it's played down into the Toronto zone. A pass for Tanev, almost turned over, but now Chris Tanev has it again in his own zone. He's going to kill off the remaining seconds, and that will do it. But the San Jose Sharks outshoot the Leafs 16-11. And they get a shorthanded goal that breaks a 1-1 tie and lead 2-1 after 20 minutes.
Obviously, the shorthanded goal is the killer here in the opening 20 minutes when the Leafs have an opportunity to take their lead. But I think just as disturbing, Joe, is the fact they give up 16 shots to the San Jose Sharks. Last place team in the league. They're offensively challenged, but you'd never know it looking at the first period.
Graf from Ferrero is the scoring play that got the go-ahead on the shorthanded goal. Nyes and Tavares assist on the Nylander goal, and that is where we stand. We will ship it off to Anthony Stewart and Jim Taddy. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN 1050 and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Change is happening.
I've been having crying spells since the election.
And so is the conversation.
You're on progress. Hello.
You care about the issues.
Day after day, they're stripping away rights.
We amplify your voice.
This is an important time to resist.
I just want to encourage people, don't give up.
I'm grateful. I hear other people call in and say the same thing.
Sirius XM Progress is your channel for change. You're not just a listener. You're part of the movement. Listen. Engage. Progress. Sirius XM Progress 127.
The countdown to history is on. Alexander Ovechkin, one of the greatest to ever play the game, is chasing hockey immortality. Every goal brings him closer to legend status. And SiriusXM is your front row seat to the action.
Alex Ovechkin!
Live every game, plus catch exclusive interviews with those who know him best, former teammates, coaches, and legends of the game on the SiriusXM app.
Brad Ovechkin scored!
The Great Chase is on NHL Network Radio.
The Power Play with Steve Koulias.
General manager of the Winnipeg Jets, Kevin Cheveldayoff. What would finishing first overall mean to the organization, Kevin?
Well, I think anytime that, you can finish in an area where you're getting recognized, it's special. But again, the important thing for us is process. Is when we buy into playing the way we need to play, then, we feel comfortable that we'll win more games than not. And then you let the chips fall where they may.
The Power Play. Weekdays 3 p.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio. Sirius XM 91 and the Sirius XM app. The Point with Boomer Gordon.
For months, I've been listening to hockey people warn this.
There we go. Testing. 1, 2, 3. All right. We just got another 100 viewers into one of the games that we've got going on here tonight on Toronto Sports Insider. Leafs fans, Leafs insiders, so great to see you all. What a day it has been so far. The Blue Jays opener was very, very ugly, and we have a lot of Bracket Mania campaign games going on tonight. We've had a great turnout so far tonight, so thank you to all of the wrenches who have been in there just zapping those bots. Much, much appreciated. There's a nice sub count bounce there, 91,238. Let's go. Let's keep on climbing up towards that plaque, 100K. Man, what's that, 8,762 to go? All right. I mean, it's late. It's really late. Cheers to all of you who are still here and awake with us. Leafs fans, Veronica. Who we got here? Gerard in the house. Christine. Oh, my goodness. Christine, so good to see you. Make sure you guys click that link that's in the chat and put yourself on our map on the website to see where everyone is watching from all over the world. It's insane. We have people in Israel, we have people in Australia, we have people in South America and Brazil, and oh yeah, shout-out time. That's right, I almost forgot the one, the only, Popo from Ulaanbaatar, Mongolia. Cheers to Popo and all of your friends hanging out there on the couch tonight watching the Leafs. Well, not tonight. In Mongolia, it is not tonight anymore. It's almost morning here, so it's definitely morning there in Mongolia. Let's get back to the intermission, the report here. I've got to get back to all of these other streams and figure out what's going on. The dog is in trouble upstairs, so we'll see you guys back in the chat. Go Leafs, go. Cheers.
2-1 to San Jose after 20 minutes of play. TSN After 20 is brought to you by Subaru. Hurry to the all-in-one event for great offers and experience all the features that come standard in a Subaru. Jim Taddy and former NHLer Anthony Stewart with you. Stu, I scoured the wires. I was looking at all sources trying to figure out if Benoit's coffee machine either broke or was seized in customs because these guys were not awake when the game started.
So, again, my eyes deceived me a little bit. I was trying to find out on that first goal there, was that him that tried to air it out and turned it over on that first goal? Was that Benoit?
I believe it was.
Okay. Hopefully his parents aren't listening. But, again, especially when you're going on the road, right? And, we heard them talking about the time change and the game should be ending at this time. But again, pros are paid a lot of money to perform at a high level. So you can't use the time change as an excuse, right? You gotta, as a minor hockey player and the American League player, you're used to playing some games starting at 9 o'clock. So I can't think that is used as an excuse, but they did find a way. And that's sort of.
Hold on, time out real quick. There you go. Big shout out, Toronto Maple Leafs loyal, true Canadian heart for the super chat there for SickKids Hospital. Thank you so much. And I was actually going to jump in as soon as we went to the next break to say hi to you, as well as to some of the other insiders, like the one I just missed there, Kerpook. I don't know how I'm saying it there, but welcome. And now back to the hockey.
So I think for them, yes, it's clicking really, really well, but just simplify, get some shots, and sort of put San Jose a little bit back on their heels. So they lost that momentum that they gained on that power play, but the good thing is they didn't play their best period, outshot 16, 10 or 11, I believe. Shots were 10-4 at one point. They're only down 1. They're in a pretty good position going into second, but they have to have a better start to this period.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, there's plenty of hockey left. This game is far from over. There's some things there. One of the things you said was looking for certain plays. And let's go back to the pregame when they had to play their system. I don't like when you say they're searching for certain setups. Just play the system. The opportunity will present itself.
Yes, and again, maybe that could have been the game plan, saying, hey, yes, we're playing against a San Jose team, who's been struggling as of late just to get points, but before the game, I didn't know who Graf is, but I know who he is now. I'm sure the Toronto Maple Leafs are sort of going to be zeroing on him. But, when you're going against a team that has the 26th worst penalty kill in the whole entire National Hockey League, I think you're afforded the ability to try some things. But, again, they got bitten on that. But they actually got lucky on that first one as well. They were going to clear it down, but great play by Nyes and picking the pocket of the defender there on San Jose and making a great pass to William Nylander. So, the one silver lining in this cloud is it's 2-1. It could have easily been 2-0 or even 3-0. Joseph Wall was on his A game. I wasn't a big fan of that second goal, but he was dialed in, facing 16 shots in those first 20 minutes.
And San Jose has the worst defensive record in the league for whatever that's worth. We're going to put that out there. What I didn't like, and I think you'll agree with me, is the zone time that San Jose had. Almost given too much respect when they were inside the Leafs blue line.
Exactly, and that was one of the topics we discussed in the pregame show, just sort of with that third line. And if you're not providing offense, but again, Domi, they had some moments. Same thing with Lawton. Lawton almost scored in his first shift, just missing that top corner. You can't get hemmed in. You got to find a way to get the pucks out. You have to find a way to win your faceoffs. I saw Domi lose 2 or 3 there as well. So those little details, when you're struggling to put the puck in the net, I think you have to pay attention to that a little bit more. And I warned and sort of heeded that warning, saying the San Jose team, yes, they're struggling as a group, but individually they have some players that can make some big plays. You saw Celebrini get lost in the high slot. He almost scored. Eklund is a great player as well. Will Smith had some moments, and obviously Toffoli scoring the game's opening goal. So they have some talent, so you have to find a way to outwork that team that doesn't have as much talent as you. So again, I'm not hanging my hat on this being a disaster of a game, but through 40 minutes they have to have a little bit better start and pay attention to those details a little bit closer through final 40 minutes.
And I'm with you on the throw out the time difference, because San Jose was here Monday, March 3rd, won that game 3-2 in a shootout. So nobody was complaining in San Jose about the loss of the 3 hours.
No, it goes both ways, right? Everyone's losing hours. We're losing hours talking about it as well. And, Craig Berube, you see his face on the bench. He's giving it to those guys. So, for me, it's, you got to start a little bit better on time, especially with your effort in Nashville, right? On the road. Not saying you have to play perfect games, but the basics and the fundamentals, you have to get those down. So getting pucks out, clearing it in, winning your faceoffs at crucial moments, managing the puck a little bit better on the power play. I'm going to give them a little bit more grace. 34% since January 1st, this Toronto Maple Leafs power play. But for me, it seems like they're just experimenting. But, you don't want to be experimenting with first versus third in the division, because that can spell disaster for this group. But I expect a better effort for this final 40 minutes.
Yeah, it's like death of a narrative concern about the Leafs power play. No issue there. But the 5-on-5 play should have been much better in that period, right?
Yeah, and, especially with the game that the second line had and scoring 5 goals, that's got to motivate some other players. Let's go out there and find a way to, hold our, carry our portion of what needs to be done here, too. So, again, we'll see. I'm expecting a good 5 minutes where I'm expecting the ice to tilt a little bit. I want to see the Leafs get the first 6-7 shots, or, sort of outshoot them that first 5 minutes to really get back that momentum that they had for a brief time and hold it for the rest of the game.
Okay, Stu, thanks very much. It's 2-1 San Jose over the Leafs after 20 minutes of play. Toffoli, 1-0, 7:50 in. Nylander in the power play, 14:40. And then Graf, shorthanded, 17:45, allowed to waltz into the Leafs zone, pick the far corner, and that's why it's 2-1 for the Sharks over the Leafs. This is Molson Canadian Leafs Hockey on TSN 1050, the iHeartRadio app, and the Leafs Radio Network.
Breaking story from Alpine News Network. Jan owns a home and a restaurant fusing French and Mexican cuisine. But she is fusing no more because her ovens have gone kaput. She called Alpine Credits, who sent their speedy superhero. With her business loan approved, her ovens were quickly fixed. The hero even had...
Cheers, insiders and basketball fans worldwide. Joe Bowen here, the Hall of Fame voice of the Toronto Maple Leafs. Thanks for joining us for the SickKids Bracket Mania campaign on TSI, making a real difference in our Toronto community. From Toronto to Tokyo, Sudbury to Singapore, TSI is everywhere. Remember, a portion of every game's revenue goes directly to SickKids Hospital. Check out the live viewer map at TorontoSportsInsider.com. Let us know where you're watching from. Let's keep growing this global movement.
You heard the man. Go check the link that you see flying through the chat right now. It's also pinned in the description, and let us know where you're watching from and see where the rest of the world's watching from with us tonight. Good luck to your team.
For spring and adventure with the Honda CR-V Sport. Lease with rates from 1.99% for 36 months, plus get a $1,500 Honda bonus. OAC conditions apply. Made with domestic and imported parts. See HondaOntario.com.
This is a message from United Way to a Jesse M. of Mississauga. Hello, Jesse. You might be wondering why we made an ad specifically for you. Because, Jesse, you see, we're fighting poverty any way we can. Even cold calling a complete stranger over the radio. Bold, isn't it? Together, we can make sure everyone has what they need, like food, housing, good jobs, and mental health supports. Join people like Jesse to build a better GTA. Donate today at UnitedWayGT.org. Thanks, Jesse.
Your sneakers are staring directly at you. You try to look away, but you can't. You're laced to face. They're saying, Rome wasn't built in a day, and your six-pack won't be either. But you've got to start somewhere. Stop staring. Put us on. Take that first step, or lunge, or squat. Start small. Start somewhere. Join for $7.99 every 2 weeks at fitforless.ca and experience fitness simplified. Some conditions apply. Fit for less. Everybody happy.
Touchdown. Great catch.
Give me a high five.
5 minutes later.
Interception.
Awesome play.
Give me a high five.
2 hours later.
Eddie, did you order 20 high five specials from 2-for-1 Pizza?
You kept asking for high fives.
I meant, never mind. I'm hungry.
High five. Buy any large traditional pizza and get up to 3 medium one-topping pizzas for just $5 each.
2-for-1 pizza, 2-for-1.
The out-of-town scoreboard is brought to you by Maple Toyota. You don't have to go to town for a great new Tundra RAV4 gas or hybrid. Maple Toyota has them in stock and ready to deliver. Visit mapletoyota.com. Stars 3-2 over the Flames in the third period. Midway through the second, Kraken 2-0 over the Oilers. Also midway through the second, Avs 2-0 over the Kings. And the rest are done. Lightning 8-0 over Utah. Flyers 6-4 over the Habs. Ottawa 4-3 over Detroit. Buffalo gets by Pittsburgh 7-3. Wild 4-2 over the Caps. He did not score. And St. Louis 3-2 over the Predators. Big win for the Blues. In our game, 2-1 for the Sharks over the Leafs after 20 minutes of play. This is Molson Canadian Leafs Hockey on TSN 1050, the iHeartRadio app, and the Leafs Radio Network.
The countdown to history is on. Alexander Ovechkin, one of the greatest to ever play the game, is chasing hockey immortality. Every goal brings him closer to legend status. And SiriusXM is your front row seat to the action.
Alex Ovechkin!
Live every game, plus catch exclusive interviews with those who know him best. Former teammates, coaches, and legends of the game on the SiriusXM app.
Brad Ovechkin scores!
The Great Chase is on NHL Network Radio.
The Power Play with Steve Koulias.
General manager of the Winnipeg Jets, Kevin Cheveldayoff. What would finishing first overall mean to the organization, Kevin?
Well, I think anytime that, you can finish in an area where you're getting recognized, it's special. But again, the important thing for us is process. Is when we buy into playing the way we need to play, then, we feel comfortable that we'll win more games than not. And then you let the chips fall where they may.
The Power Play, weekdays 3 p.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91, and the SiriusXM app. It's soccer's most thrilling league.
Only the Premier League can make you feel like this.
And now every match is on the SiriusXM app.
Can you believe it?
From the title race.
This is remarkable. Keeps this title charge on track, surely.
To the relegation fight.
The impossible may still be possible.
Hear every English Premier League match on SiriusXM FC 157 and the SiriusXM app. Just search for your favorite club.
Join me, Gord Stellick, and Scott Laughlin as we recap the night that was on NHL Morning Skate, weekday mornings at 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91.
The biggest names in the game.
Trying to get behind Ristolainen, walks in, put it between his legs, shoots it, score!
NHL play-by-play on SiriusXM.
The world's most thrilling league is now in the palm of your hand. Hear every English Premier League match all season long on the SiriusXM app. Just search for your favorite team.
The best hockey lives here.
Burns gets it back, stick handles to the backhand, moves in front, score!
NHL play-by-play on SiriusXM.
Hopefully the first period was a wake-up call for the Maple Leafs, who trail the San Jose Sharks 2-1. And a shorthanded goal is the difference in the contest. Nylander scoring for the Maple Leafs.
It was 16 shots on goal. I mean, I think that was the big concern probably for Craig Berube. And another multi-goal period against for the Leafs. Remember, it was, 3 in Nashville the last time they were on the road, 3 in the second period there. And important for the Leafs not only to win, but preferably in regulation. Because they've got 35 regulation wins on the year. That's the first tiebreaker if teams are tied in the standings.
Then
it's regulation overtime wins. Yeah.
Yes. Which is why the Leafs are currently
ahead of Florida. Yeah. But the Leafs and Florida both have 35 regulation wins. Tampa, with their win today, have 36 regulation wins. So if the Leafs lost in regulation tonight, they would actually drop to third place. Florida would move ahead because of the game in hand. Tampa's currently tied with both Florida and the Leafs, and they, of course, would move ahead of Toronto based on regulation wins.
And after this 3-game road trip through California, the Leafs have 2 days and then host Florida in the second last meeting between the two teams. As it's down into the Toronto zone, they defend the goal to our left, and the Sharks get it into the slot with a one-timer. Oh, and that was just off the mark wide, or Wall may have got a piece of it. Another centering pass comes back into the slot, and the Leafs break it out. Marner getting it ahead for Matthews, who one-hands it down into the corner. He goes down in there after it as it goes around back of the net. Grabbed off by Makamadulan, who gets it out at center ice for San Jose. Nyes back in for Matthews. Matthews stops up. Back to the point, a pass in front of the net looking for Nylander. Nylander off the bench, now gets it. Nylander going wide. Nylander with a shot, and it was high and wide. And the rebound caroms to the line, but not out. Or is it? No, it's a delayed offside. The Leafs are going to have to evacuate the offensive zone. Played to center ice and down into the Leaf end. Wall out of the cage to give it to his defenseman. Played up on the wing now, and here's Nylander skating backwards into his own zone. Got it back up off the defenseman. No, apparently wasn't off the defenseman's stick. Icing is going to be called, and it's coming back into the Toronto zone.
San Jose Sharks obviously in rebuild mode. We've got 2 first-rounders and 2 second-rounders in each of the 2 upcoming drafts, 2025 and 2026. Got their own, plus 1 from the Edmonton Oilers that they got in flipping Jake Wallman to Edmonton, and they got him from Detroit, and then the Cody Ceci McKill Granlund trade with Dallas. They've got the Stars first rounder as well.
Leafs win the face-off. Riley gets it to center. He's going to flip it into the left wing corner. McMahon goes in with a hefty check along the boards there, taking Karlsson to the wall. It'll go around the boards to the far point and partially blocked, but now brought out on a 2-on-1. Here are the Sharks in on goal with a shot. Scores! Joseph Wall got a piece of it, but the wrist shot by Alex Wenberg beats him, and it is 3-1 San Jose.
Sharks cleared the puck around behind their own net and up the right wing boards. Simon Benoit. This is Tyler Toffoli that threw it around the boards. Benoit came in to pinch and simply missed it. And that set up the 2-on-1 back the other way. And Joseph Woll got beat on 2 2-on-1 rushes in Nashville. And this one by Wenberg goes right under his blocking arm.
9th of the season for Wenberg.
And his first in 33 games. My goodness.
Played down into the Sharks zone. Well, there better be some urgency shown here as it bounces down into the Toronto end. Round back of the net, reverse now, knocked in front of the goal, and it'll be brought out by Toronto. McCabe gives it off to Domi, who works in over the line and then stops up. Looks for a man in front, goes back to the point. Wrist shot coming, and it was high and wide of the goal. Robertson unable to track it down on the near boards as it is pushed out into center ice, and Robertson has it there. Domi launching it in, and the Leafs are going to get a change started. Desharnais for the Sharks goes around back of the net. It has gone from bad to worse. Played ahead by San Jose and into the Toronto end. Riley forced to the end boards by Grundstrom. Puck goes free. Riley goes down. Puck goes to Brandon Carlo, and he'll get it out at center, and the Leafs trying to get it ahead, get it in over the line, but Yarncrook isn't going to reach it in time. Played high into neutral ice, forcing the Leafs back with Oliver Ekman-Larsson getting it back up through the middle. Brought on by David Camp. Camp plays it down into the zone. Lorenz into the forecheck, got a piece of his man. Cleared to the line, but not out. Leafs are able to keep it in. Down around back of the net. Macamadulan playing it off the boards high. Marner trying to swat that down like it was a tennis racket. But now the Sharks have it again and brought out into the center ice area. Broken up by Tanev. Played ahead but unable to get into the zone. Back come the Sharks across the line with Celebrini. He bunts it into the corner. Grabbed off there by Tanev. He'll get it on to Matthews, who couldn't make a play. Now on the far wing. Matthews trying to free it up, but the Sharks come away with it, and it'll be deflected by Celebrini into the Leaf end. Tanev getting it ahead for Matthews. Matthews to Oliver Ekman-Larsson up on the left wing, and a shot taken there by Nyes was stopped on the short side by Georgiev. Leafs back of the net, trying to get to the loose puck is Marner. Marner on the near boards. Pass was intercepted, and the Sharks get it out at center ice and are just going to play it into the Toronto zone. Jake McCabe is back there first to get it up on the wing. Nyes to an open wing, grabbed off there by Marner. He's going to play it in over the line as Tavares has come off the bench into the far corner. Bobby McMahon is able to play it with his skate to his stick. Now chips it to the side of the goal. It rolls back of the net. Nylander centers. It goes off another stick. Now it's in front of the net, still free. Back to the point. Wrist shot coming. Backhand stop made by Georgiev. And a whistle.
Another penalty.
A tripping call.
I'm not sure if a Leaf went down in front of the net or not.
Well, they're focusing in on Tavares. I don't know if he's getting the penalty or not. Well, the booing kind of tells us that it's going to be against San Jose.
Yeah, it was Carlson that took down Tavares in front of the net. So Leaf power play gets a huge opportunity here to redeem itself. But a pretty good shift by the Tavares line before that.
Power play brought to you by your Ontario Subaru dealers. Enjoy spring to the fullest with symmetrical full-time all-wheel drive. Visit your local Subaru dealer to book a test drive today.
And let's not forget, this is 3-0 power plays favoring the Leafs.
Face off to the right. The Sharks into the penalty kill with the face-off. 15:21 to go here in the period. And waved out is Barclay Goodrow. And Graff will move in. Leafs win the face-off. Marner with a wrist shot coming. That blocked the rebound. Scores! Matthews, the puck was in behind Georgiev, and Matthews spotted it and slams it home. And very quickly, the Maple Leafs are back to where they started the period, down 1.
So all 3 power plays result in a goal, 2 for the Leafs, and the 1 shorthanded by San Jose. And this was Mitch Marner off the draw, takes it to the middle of the ice from the point and throws it to the net. Georgiev has no idea where it is. Austin Matthews spots it, trickling underneath the San Jose goaltender, and just sweeps it into the empty net behind him to make it 3-2. So both goaltenders allow a leaky one that they get a big chunk of, but not enough to keep it out, and the Leafs are back in it.
28th goal of the season for Austin Matthews. And on the power play, that's number 10 on the season. Trailing Nylander, who now has 12. And Tavares, who has 11 as well. So the Leafs are back within a goal. Tanev keeping the puck into the corner. Out of the corner now, trying to work it is Matthews. He is taken down on the play. And the Sharks will get it out into the center ice area. Celebrini dropping it off. Will Smith back to Celebrini around back of the net. Rolled it in front. And it's cleared by Toronto into the neutral zone. Ferraro trying to get it in over the line. Marner chips it back out at center, and Matthews will chip it the rest of the way into the zone to allow a change of players. Makamadulin.
That's 10 power play goals for Matthews now.
In on the wing with a shot. That went wide of the Leaf goal. It comes back to the point. Another shot deflects wide of the Toronto goal. Chipped up on the line by Toronto, and it is Lachlan getting it out at center ice. Lawton gets it on the left wing, and a wrist shot taken there by David Camp, by Morgan Riley, and it deflected wide of the net. Shot in again by the Sharks. Back of the net is Wall with a glance over his shoulder, and then gives it off to Morgan Riley. Riley will come out up on the left wing to center. Domi couldn't get in over the line. Now he does to Robertson. Robertson with a shot. That was up the rebound to the side of the net, swallowed up by Georgiev, as Scott Lawton was parading around in front of the net looking for that pass. So the Maple Leafs get back into the game after a early goal again by San Jose, and it is a 3-2 Shark lead here in the second period. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN 1050 and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
At Honda, we take pride in building the CR-V Sport here in Alliston, Ontario. And with all-wheel drive, plus a suite of Honda sensing technologies, we made sure it can handle Ontario winters. But you're probably wondering, what's with the one-touch power moonroof? Well, Ontario, we hold on to the hope that one day winter will be over. Get ready for spring and adventure with the Honda CR-V Sport. Lease with rates from 1.99% for 36 months, plus get a $1,500 Honda bonus. OAC conditions apply. Made with domestic and imported parts. See HondaOntario.com.
Hey everyone, Adney and Verk here to talk about our great podcast, NHL Unscripted with Verk and Demers.
Jason Demers here. After playing 700 NHL games, it turns out I have an opinion or two. Whoever's saying trade one of them, you don't know anything about hockey. I'm on the bandwagon. I'm rooting for this team. With new guests every week, we will talk about hockey and more.
Can't wait till you watch the movie because it's the biggest award of her career.
He went into the cheetah exhibit. The cheetah took a piece out of him, and he came into the ring next day.
Tune in to NHL Unscripted with Verk and Demers, the iHeartRadio app, or wherever you get your podcasts.
This is the sound of medicine. When you stay at a Ronald McDonald House, close to your sick child, family is medicine. And right now, it's helping Ryan battle leukemia. We need your help to keep families together. Please donate today at rmhc.ca.
So going along with Jim Ralph, Jim Taddy and Anthony Stewart, Cameron Moore and Malcolm Daly are staying up late, keeping things on the air as Austin Matthews gets the Leafs to within one.
That's 52 power play goals on the year for the Leafs. You know what the record is? The record for most power play goals in a season?
For the Leafs?
Yeah.
Got to be within the last couple of years, isn't it?
No. 20 years.
20 years ago.
107 power play goals in a season. Harrison Tucker, 18. I'll give you the
rest. Yeah, okay. Here's Tavares coming out of the corner with it. Got it back to the point. Riley sends it towards the net. It's blocked. and quickly shot out at center ice, and the Leafs have to go back to neutral ice to regain it, and then it's shot right back in again. Down the boards on the far side. Tavares frees it up for Nylander. Nylander trying to get it back to the point. McCabe couldn't keep it in. Back come the Sharks to the line, but McCabe got back to knock it away from Colin Graff, and now it's brought in offside by Wenberg. And play is whistled down, and this will give Mr. Ralph more opportunity to give us all of these.
No, I want to give it to you.
No, I have no. Yeah, Darcy Tucker, Matt Sundin.
Yeah, Tucker at 18, Sundin 16, Jeff O'Neill 14.
Whoa!
That year, Brian McCabe had 13. Even Ty Domi had a power play goal that year, as did Carlo Koliakovo.
Oh, wow! Those high scoring. Commentators.
Like we're talking about how great the power play has been lately, and they had almost twice as many.
And across the line is Marner. Fed in around back of the net. Doesn't reach Nyes or Matthews. Marner follows up on it. Couldn't get it back to the point. Comes away with it in the corner. Still battles. Gets it back to the point. D to D left wing side. A shot. And that went high and wide. Tipped in on the near side by Brandon Carlo. To the far side, Oliver Ekman-Larsson with a hefty hit as it's cleared down the ice, and an icing call as Carlo is back to retrieve it. 12:32 left to play in the second period. Leafs have taken over the shot on goal lead at 18-17, and despite the goal that they gave up, have had a better period here thus far in the second.
Yeah, you worried about Joseph Woll at all?
I'm worried about everybody, Mr. Ralph. I'm just a worry word.
You worry about yourself.
I do. I do a lot, yes.
Got a lot to worry about.
I do. Here are the Sharks in over the line. Lund couldn't get a shot away, and when he did, it was a fairly easy save for Wall.
Worry about that last one that leaked through him. And we've seen him. Like we said, there was that goal that Kiefer Bellows scored in Nashville, second period. Very similar, coming off the wing. And we both know that when Joseph Woll and Anthony Stolarz, for that matter, when they're on, those are automatic.
Cam Lund from Northeastern University playing in his first NHL game for the Sharks. Draw to the right. Won by Toronto. Back of the goal, it goes for Oliver Ekman-Larsson, who got it up on the boards. And Yarncrook trying to get it the rest of the way. Couldn't get it out. Tanev will try. And now it's banked to center ice and one-handed in over the line by Steven Lorentz. Lorentz with a good hit there on Desharnais. Puck back to the net now for Yarncrook. Bank pass back to the blue line. Shot coming from Tanev, and it was deflected wide. Oliver Ekman-Larsson keeps it into the corner. Played around back of the net now. Yarncrook trying to come out of the corner. Reverses his field, but ran into a body and couldn't move the puck. Now it's wedged up against the boards in their skates. Now stepping on it and kicking it free was Yarncrook, but Camp couldn't get to it. Sharks with it on the near side. Grundstrom sends it out and down the ice. Icing waved off by the linesman, and that was rather generous as it looked like OEL was in position. Now we've got Oliver Ekman-Larsson teamed with Tanev in the second period a little bit. Puck back in neutral ice. Celebrini dropping it back. Played ahead by the Sharks into neutral ice. Celebrini almost lost the handle on it. Now plays it into the Toronto zone. Wall out of the cage to play it back along the boards, but it goes back of the net. Now around a wraparound attempt. Good play by Wall to cover that post. Near side kept alive and into the corner for Carlson. Back to the point. It's going to come out and go down the ice. And an icing call. Just. I mean, you needed some brooms there to get that over the goal line. And it's going to be an icing against Toronto.
Leafs have come back here in the shots on goal category, as we're now even at that here in the sheet, 18 apiece, 8-2 for the Leafs here in the second period. No, we got 19-18 up on the board, so 8-3 would be the proper total.
That's the darn thing about shots on goal, as you well know. Change all the time. Shot goes wide off the body into the near boards. McMahon took his man down in Celebrini, and he's going to get a penalty. And you brought that up already. The 3-0 on the alley bag was had 3 on the one pocket. And
and I'm not saying. I mean, this was deserved. As it was a trip by Bobby McMahon, maybe similar. It was Pellegrini tried to sort of dodge out of the way, and McMahon had already committed to the hit. But you knew for the Leafs to get to the next power play, it probably would have taken criminal charges to be laid.
Penalty kill brought to you by CMC Markets. Take your trading to the next level with $0 commission on stocks. Draw to the right in the Toronto zone. The Leafs man short for the first time. Kept in the point. Shot blocked there on a good one by McCabe as it goes back around back of the net. Chipped into the near boards for Marner. Marner got it freed up nicely for Matthews. Matthews, though, trying to make a move. Couldn't get it out. Played around the boards on the far side. He was trying to get into a rush with it and then completely mishandled it. And now the Hornets' nest is back on as it's played ahead, and now Marner will get it out into neutral ice. Marner to center. Off on the wing for Matthews. Matthews back in front for Marner, and he tipped it just wide of the goal. Leafs are trying to get a change going with the long change in the second period. Celebrini got it ahead. Brought back in over the line then by Canoni. It goes around back of the net. Tanev was able to free it up, and the Leafs are going to backhand it, but not out. Celebrini kept it in with a good glove play. Onto the left wing side, centering pass in the slot. A shot not deflected wide of the goal. Will Smith is back of the goal. Had it knocked away by Tanev, and Tanev will get it out and down the ice. Not much on it, but a perfect spot for him to send it the length of the rink. 44 seconds left in the power play for San Jose. Sharks working it out at center ice. They'll drop it off and brought in by Wenberg into the corner on the far side. Blocked there nicely by Carlo. It comes back on the far half board, centering pass, and a look in front, and a shot is swallowed up by Wall off the stick of Shakir Makabadulin.
You got him in early.
I did. Makhamadulin. A lot of vowels. A lot of vowels.
Also known on this side of the broadcast booth as the young Shark defenseman.
Or maybe just the Big M. Hey, he could be the Big M again, right? 20 seconds left in the power play. 3-2 is the score. The Sharks leading the Leafs here in the second period. Chopped along the boards, knocked out of the air, but maintained by Wenberg. Wenberg on the far half boards, looks down into the corner for Graf. Still has it, though. Played it back to the point. Walking the line with a wrist shot, knocked down in front of the net. Wenberg into the slot, and a shot pad save. Good one made there by Wall. Cleared out at center, and now out of the penalty box is Bobby McMahon, but couldn't get it in front of the net. McMahon backhands it around back of the net. So the Leafs kill off the first power play opportunity for the Sharks. But trailed by a goal.
Maybe the best saves Joseph Wall has made in this game as well, right at the end of that power play.
Riley punches it along the boards to get it out at center. Tavares finds Nylander on the left wing. Willie in over the line, dropping it off. Riley looks in front, took a shot from a sharp angle, but it went high and wide. Just kept in then by OEL on the near point. Back of the net, McMahon. McMahon leaving it there for Tavares. Tavares got it back into the slot, but it was intercepted and brought the other way now by Dellandrea. And down into the corner it goes. Now Leafs come up with it, and out they come again. McMahon, left wing side. Tried to work into the corner, got tripped, and went nose first into the boards. That could have been a penalty. And the Sharks have it back under control with Patrick Gillies starting out and now launching it high and getting it into the Leaf end, but a whistle from behind the play.
Might have been icing. I don't know if San Jose got the line.
Nope, looks like it is icing. Yep. So they'll bring it back into the Shark end of the rink.
I think the cleaning crew jumped out a little.
Yeah, maybe just anticipating the TV break, right? I mean, If you're the Maple Leafs, do you change your watches? This is the late game, but the next two are almost Eastern time, right? A 7 o'clock start on Saturday and an 8 o'clock start Eastern time in Anaheim. I mean, the sleep doctor on this venture is really going to have his hands full. Brought back by the Sharks and over the line. Celebrini gets it back into the slot, and a shot is deflecting up into the screen and out of play. Not sure whether Wall got a piece of that or not.
Boy, he moved that blocker up, though, didn't he?
Yeah, Smith got the shot away to get it up there. The Sharks lead at 3-2, and you're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN 1050 and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Get closer to the artists you love on the SiriusXM app. From 24/7 channels dedicated to icons like the Beatles, Bruce Springsteen, and the Grateful Dead, to ones hosted by stars like John Mayer, Carrie Underwood, and Kelly Clarkson. Explore the songs, stories, and inside access to artists you won't find anywhere else. Plus, exclusive shows, interviews, full concerts, and more. Just search Artist Channels in the SiriusXM app.
The Point with Boomer Gordon.
For months, I've been listening to hockey people warn the Sabres, don't move on from Dylan Cousins. This is the one you'll regret. The fact that you're trading in division is amazing to me. This guy can come back and haunt you like every Sabre does. But if I'm an Ottawa Senator fan,
Hey, you! Yeah, you! This is Joe Bowen, the voice of the Toronto Maple Leafs. Are you checking your bracket during the commercial break like the rest of us? Thanks for chatting it up and enjoying this March Madness live hangout with us. So why not make it official? Hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell so you never miss a live game. We're on a mission to hit 100,000 insiders. And you can help us grow this amazing community of sports fans making a difference. Join the conversation, keep it classy, and we'll see you in the chat. Good luck to your team and your bracket. Against the West this year have been excellent, 19-7-3.
One of those 3 losses came against the San Jose Sharks. No, actually came in a shootout after the Leafs took a 2-0 lead into the third period.
Sharks haven't played in 4 days. They've had a real respite here, haven't they?
Yeah, even Florida doesn't play until tomorrow. They played Sunday.
Draw, scrum, far boards, back of the net. Tanev working into the near corner. Gets it airmailed out at center, and unable to reach it there was the Leaf. Oh, no, and they score! Joseph Wall has a major league hiccup. The puck in the blue paint. He doesn't play it fast enough, and it is swiped into the net by William Eklund. Oh, my.
Well, you talk about Chris Tanev not being on the ice for a lot of goals. He's going to, unfortunately, get nailed with a minus on this one as Joseph Wall puts it right off the skate of Eklund and into the net, and the Leafs are in trouble. 4-2 San Jose, 6:42 to go in the second period.
17th of the season for Eklund.
Boy, the puck came all the way down into the blue paint. Wall stood up, got in position to play it, and hesitated. Instead of just sort of tipping it for Tanev to take it into the corner, Wall hesitated, and then as Eklund was arriving, tried to put it past him and put it off him instead.
13-16, the time of the goal. Oh, you could see that coming, though, couldn't you? I mean, just the hesitation, and you knew that something very bad was about to happen, and it did. And an icing call now against the Leafs, or against the Sharks, rather. Will have the puck back in the San Jose end of the rink.
Yeah, and it was one of those too much time to think.
Too much time to think and too much equipment to make a good play with it. Back to the point. A shot deflects into the slot area. Tavares trying to get it freed up. Got it down into the corner. Nylander unable to reach it, but Tavares does in front for Bobby McMahon on the wing for Riley. And that was shot high and wide. The rebound comes to center ice, and it is brought by Toffoli, who will launch it in on Wall, who catches it and quickly throws it aside. Not sure whether that is Leaf fans chiding the goaltender or the Shark fans chiding the goaltender. Played down into the corner. In the San Jose end of the rink. 5:40 to play. And the battle on the boards is between Calle Järnkrok and the defenseman as it comes back to Benoit. Benoit will send it around back of the net. David Camp gets it back to McCabe. McCabe with a pass in front that's deflected off the goaltender wide of the net. Now Lorenz taking it to the net, and he bounced it just wide on the far side as he came out of the near corner. Leafs pressing here with a pass back now for Järnkrok. Along the boards, McCabe. Down back of the net it goes for Lorenz. Lorenz to the point. Lorenz was upended as the shot goes wide of the goal. Down the boards and keeping it in, McCabe. Leafs pressing here. Have the puck back of the net but can't come up with it. Desharnais loses it. The Leafs come out with it. Back along the boards now. Dropped off by Lawton. Back to the point. A shot scores! From the point. Scotty Lawton, I think, gets the shot away, but we're not sure, and yes, it is. Scott Lawton, the Oakville native, will get his first goal as a Maple Leaf, and it's a big one to not get the lead back to within just one.
You know what? There was a great touch pass by David Camp on the left wing boards, and Camp threw it right back to Lawton. And I don't know if there's a screen in front of Georgiev or not, but this is from long range. That again, the San Jose goaltender gets a piece of, but finds the back of the net. But the first point, first goal for Scott Lawton in a Leaf uniform. And that comes in his 10th game as a member of the Toronto Maple Leafs.
So a big goal there for the newcomer, and the Maple Leafs get one back after that hiccup by Joseph Wall. Sharks with it again. 4:20 left in the second period. But the Leafs certainly had a lot more tenacity going for them after getting the puck down in the offensive end.
That was a great shift.
It really was. And it was two lines that were involved in it, right?
Yeah. The Lawton-Domi line was coming on. David Camp was still out there.
Here's Tanev sending it into the offensive zone and going to the bench. Puck along the boards on the near side. Nyes and Marner trying to free it up. Nyes couldn't get to it. It's cleared high. Knocked down there by Carlo. They keep it into the Shark end, but it's right at the blue line. Celebrini trying to get his stick away from Nyes, but the puck is turned over. Here's a chance for the Sharks in. Off the goal post. Rattled off the post. And the Leafs are going to get it out at center ice.
Boy, that was Austin Matthews, Joe. Had the puck come out of the scrum on the boards and tried to go to the left point, and it got picked off.
Brought to center by Marner. Cross the line, fed in by Matthews. Back of the net, Marner. Round on the boards to the point, kept in. Back in front of the net, Matthews, a shot. And that was stopped by Georgiev. Puck along the boards now for Makamadullin. He'll get it ahead and a lead pass. Looking for Toffoli. That didn't connect. Puck is played back along the boards, and the Leafs start out with it. Ben Larson will play it to the line and in. Bouncing puck against the wall on the near side for Tavares. Trying to keep it alive as the defense, and they do. Now Tavares battles two Sharks against the boards. Nylander was able to free it up to get it into the far corner. And a good hit there by McMahon. Takes his man down, but the Sharks get it through center. Wenberg works in on the right side. stops it up, gets it back to the point with a shot that was stopped by Wall. And now Nylander starting away on the right wing. He pulls up to get some skating room. Still with it at the red line, just shooting it in now. And change is coming with 2:06 to play here in period number 2. Sharks 4, the Leafs 3. And across the line, a pass into the slot. Sharp angle shot. May have grazed the goalpost, but the goaltender was right up against the pipe. That wasn't going in. And it's back in behind the Toronto net. McCabe to Robertson. Robertson running into a traffic jam there with the forecheck from Dellandrea, and then Robertson is able to pull away from it. He brings the puck to the line and in. Dropped it off for Lawton. Now Domi trying to get to a bouncing disc in the near corner. Lawton hovering out in front of the net. Domi got a pretty good whack in there on Ostapchuk, and now they start pushing and shoving a little bit. Domi wants a little more of it.
Yeah, he's got to stop. Well, Ostapchuk has no desire to fight, doesn't have his gloves off. And Domi's got him from behind. I don't know if we've got coincidental minors or if Domi is the one that's going to take the penalty here. He did take the cross check first, it seemed, didn't he?
I thought so. Good hit by Domi initially, and then a couple of cross checks, and then Domi decides to give one back. Well, we'll go to commercial break and sort it out when we come back. The Leafs trail by 1. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN 1050 and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Do you have an invention idea but don't know what to do next? Call InventHelp now for free information on how to get started today. InventHelp provides invention services that help everyday inventors get started with their idea. We have representatives nationwide who will explain the InventHelp process step by step. Over 10,000 patents have been secured through InventHelp's patent referral services. Our services include professional materials needed to showcase your invention and 3D animation and prototype modeling that help you demonstrate your idea. Get down to the details of your idea with a technical drawing. The InventHelp Databank includes thousands of companies who have agreed to review new ideas. We've been helping inventors since 1984. Let's help you next. Take advantage of the opportunity to get started today.
Call 1-800-353-6013. That's 1-800-353-6013. Again, 1-800-353-6013.
A little heads up from Sleep Country. Over the years, your body's been shedding kilograms of straight into your aging mattress. That's not even counting millions of crawling little critters. Oh, there should have been a there. When your mattress or pillow is loaded with this much time to switch. During the Time to Switch event at Sleep Country, get up to 15% off almost everything. But hurry up, this offer is valid for a limited time. Restrictions apply. Speak to a sleep expert for details. Only at Sleep Country.
Penalties coming, and we haven't really seen or heard yet all of it. Domi wanted to go with Ostapchuk, but
looks like Domi's got the double minor.
All right. Oliver Ekman-Larsson gets an assist on the Scott Lawton goal. That's his 500th career point.
So what do we do here? Play 4-on-4 for 2 minutes, and then Ostapchuk's penalty will end, and San Jose should get a power play out of this. But we said it, Max Domi's got to be smarter there. You know what the penalty situation was. Power plays were 3-1 for San Jose. As sour as you might be, Ostapchuk did not want to drop the gloves. I don't know what the delay is here.
No idea. All right, face off to the right. In the Toronto zone with 1:24 to go in the period.
Nope, 5-on-4 power play.
All right. Okay. Played in along the boards. Sharks with the man advantage. This is their second of the game. Puck down around back of the net. Off a stick, it's going to carry him to the line, but kept in at the blue line by Cajoni. Now underway, and a wrist shot blocked in front of the net. Matthews trying to stick handle with it there. Had a chance to clear, but never got control of the puck. Around the boards and back to the blue line. Kept alive by Kajonian along the boards into the corner. It goes centering pass. Intercepted, and now Matthews has an opportunity on the backhand to send it out and down the ice. Penalty kill brought to you by CMC Markets. Take your trading to the next level with $0 commission on stocks. Off a skate. Going to carry him high to center and racing after it. Now Marner trying to work in, and it was deflected wide of the goal by Tyler Toffoli's back checking. Comes in front of the net, but then David Camp couldn't handle the pass. Good effort there by Mitch Marner. 20 seconds left in the period. Pellegrini gets it in over the line. Played in around back of the net. Hammered by Carlo round the boards and sent the rest of the way down the ice by Nyes, and that will kill off the remainder of the period. But the Leafs are going to have to try to come from behind in the third. They trail by a goal after 40 minutes by a score of 4-3 in a very sloppy effort in the first 40 minutes.
Yeah, and yet you need a couple of goals back that Joseph Woll gave up. One off the wing that went under his arm, and then, of course, the giveaway. It happens during the course of the season. I can't criticize mistakes. What about me thinking that it was going to be 4-on-4 to start? And I think it was because I saw Willie Nylander on the ice skating around before the puck was dropped in the Leafs zone for the San Jose power play. So Joseph Woll forgives me. You know what?
Him. He's a nice fellow. I'm sure he will. The Leafs and the Sharks each with 10 shots on goal in the second period. San Jose with a 26-21 advantage after 40 minutes. Jim Taddy along with Anthony Stewart coming along. Leafs trail 4-3. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN 1050 and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
The countdown to history is on. Alexander Ovechkin, one of the greatest to ever play the game, is chasing hockey immortality. Every goal brings him closer to legend status. And SiriusXM is your front row seat to the action.
Alex Ovechkin!
Live every game, plus catch exclusive interviews with those who know him best. Former teammates, coaches, and legends of the game on the SiriusXM app.
Brad Ovechkin scores!
The Great Chase is on NHL Network Radio.
The Power Play with Steve Koulias.
General manager of the Winnipeg Jets, Kevin Cheveldayoff. What would finishing first overall mean to the organization, Kevin?
Well, I think anytime that you can finish in an area where you're getting recognized, it's special. But again, the important thing for us is process. Is when we buy into playing the way we need to play, then we feel comfortable that we'll win more games than not, and then you let the chips fall where they may.
The Power Play, weekdays 3 p.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91, and the SiriusXM app. The Point with Boomer Gordon.
For months I've been listening to hockey people warn the Sabres, don't move on from Dylan Cousins. This is the one you'll regret. The fact that you're trading in division is amazing to me. This guy can come back and haunt you like every Sabre does. But if I'm an Ottawa Senators fan, Jake, I'm over the moon on this trade.
Point with Boomer Gordon, 1 p.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91, and the SiriusXM app. It's soccer's most thrilling league.
Only the Premier League can make you feel like this.
And now every match is on the SiriusXM app.
Can you believe it?
From the title race.
This is remarkable. Keeps this title charge on track, surely.
To the relegation fight.
The impossible may still be possible.
Hear every English Premier League match on SiriusXM FC 157 and the SiriusXM app. Just search for your favorite club. We deliver the NHL.
And I just wonder, Berkey, what your thoughts are on the Capitals. They are Exhibit A as to why a retool can work.
Yes, but it's early. Haven't had a playoff run yet. A lot of people taking vows right now that shouldn't be. I really like this coach. I think Chris Patrick, the GM, has done a real nice job. It is a retool, right? And the goaltending's been spectacular, but let's see. Don't pick out a parade route yet, boys.
SiriusXM, NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91.
The best player analysts and insiders live on NHL Network Radio. Mike Johnson.
If you would have asked me, what's the one record that would never, ever, ever be broken? Was the 894 goals. Every single day he scores, that's sort of the lead story in the NHL. And yet here's Ovi about to do it, and he's going to push through 900 goals, and he could push to 1,000 if he wanted to. He played 3 more seasons.
Get the latest opinion and analysis you need on the home of hockey, NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91, and the SiriusXM app.
Hey, Jim Rome here. What's cracking?
Hi.
Hope you're enjoying the game. And when you're not taking in a game, find us on Sirius Channel 161, XM Channel 206. In fact, we'll be there every weekday afternoon, 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Time. If you've got something you want to break down from this game, you know where to find us. Just make sure you have it taken. Don't suck.
Step your game up.
That has never changed. In fact, the show has never changed. We're just back home. And it's great to be there. Sirius 161, XM 206. See you there.
Join me, Gord Stellick, and Scott Laughlin as we recap the night that was on NHL Morning Skate, weekday mornings at 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91.
And the Leafs Radio Network. The Leafs live here.
And trail San Jose 4-3 after 40 minutes of play. TSN After 40 brought to you by 241 Pizza. Give yourself a high five. Buy any large traditional pizza. Get up to 3 medium one-topping pizzas for $5 each. 241pizza.com. Jim Taddy and former NHLer Anthony Stewart with you. Stu, all I'm going to say is, oh, really, guy. That was a wacky period, wasn't it?
It was. So if you had any trouble sort of staying awake or finding some entertainment value, it was a good period to be watching, right? Not great for the Maple Leafs, and it started, a minute and a half into the period on a errant pinch by Toronto, and Wenberg goes by and makes it 3-1. And again, I think that's a goal that Joseph Wall wanted to go back a couple minutes later. Austin Matthews on the power play, but the one that really sort of got me scratching my head was the William Eklund one, where it was a gift gifted by Joseph Wall there. But I'll say, you know what, the Galaxy is now balanced based on the goal that Laurent scored to get the game winner versus Colorado. So tit for tat with regards to that, but not the best period again. Just sort of those fundamentals, those mistakes, and then even the goaltending. It's a tough game, for I'm sure Craig Berube just to watch, just with the effort with what's at stake here. But again, glass is half full. 40 minutes. You haven't been playing your best game. You let a shorthanded goal in. You let a muffin go in off the back end of the San Jose player, and it's still only 4-3. So a solid 20 minutes gives you an opportunity to get back and eventually, hopefully, get 2 points, which is very important at this point.
Nice, goal by Lawton, just because of how important it was for him and for the team. And then Will Smith goes coast to coast and hits the post, which tells you that the wackiness is not totally erased.
We had our group chat, and we won't give up too many, tips on what's going on there. But sleepy, time to wake up, right? So again, it is the time change, and it is midnight Eastern time, and it can affect your play, but you have to find a way to get up. And for me, I remember almost keeping my head down so a guy can come and bump me. And I realized when I got hit big, it would wake me up and get me into the game. So not great for my head, I'll tell you that, but you have to find a way to wake yourself up. So whether it's a hit, whether it's going to the net. And I noticed that too. Before that goal was scored by Wenberg, I had in my notes a couple flybys by Toronto. They weren't really, finishing the body, finishing the checks. There was a couple courtesy bumps, as I call. That's what coaches used to call them, courtesy bumps, where you're like, hey, there's the guy. Let me just go give him a little bump. Where San Jose was actually playing physical. So those are those little details that help you sort of put a team like this away. But again, for me, I stressed a good first 5 minutes. They need that, the Maple Leafs, for this third period to start on time if they need a chance to win.
Yeah, so I guess one of the issues is the San Jose will still have seconds left on the power play. Domi was actually given a double minor and a 10-minute misconduct according to the score sheet, so he's going to be gone for half that period. That could be a big issue.
Yeah, but more ice time for some other guys, right? Maybe a double up Matthews, or, great effort on Tavares' line and drawing that penalty that led to the Matthews' 28th of the season, 4 minutes into the second period too. So again, for me, it's just a better effort. And when the Stars outwork the other team's opposition, that's when you sort of get the opportunities that they have. So yes, you have to kill the penalty. Again, I don't mind Domi doing that, trying to create some emotion, manufacture maybe some energy. And hey, you know what, guys? Let's do our best. Domi stepping up for himself here. Let's now try to find a way to maybe win it for Domi or win it for Wall, who, up until a couple weeks ago has been having a pretty stellar season. So it's not his best night tonight. So I'm sure they're going to do their best to try to rally around and find a way, find a reason to try to get the win, because it's a big 2 points at stake.
So, Stu, take us down to the ice. First of all, you've got all that prep that goes into the game before it starts. Coach is telling you all this stuff. You've worked on these things. Then the game starts, and it's all off script. I mean, it's totally off. You're doing nothing really that the coach wanted you to do or that you wanted to do. It's an off script situation. You're only down by a goal, but what does that feel like?
You know, what's the great boxing quote? Everyone has a game plan until they get punched to the mouth. And, you know, I'll tell you this, I don't know if it's the road trip, but coming from the East, it's very, very tough playing in San Jose. And typically when I was there, it'd be on the tail end of a road trip, but maybe, you know, maybe it's the lighting. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the energy or lack thereof in the building. It doesn't seem like a loud building. So that's why for me as a physical player, I had to maybe drink an extra Red Bull. I maybe had to you know what? I'm going to take a penalty running a guy, or I'm going to accidentally on purpose crash into the net here, knock it off its mooring. So, you have a game plan, but remember, other teams, they do a lot of video, especially zoning in on the Matthews and the Marners and the Nylanders. So a lot of teams are very, very prepared when Toronto comes into town. And, you know, we talked about San Jose at the beginning of the show about them being at home for 10 games, and that homestand you just sort of get into the rhythm of things. But for Toronto, again, they just have to find a way to kill this penalty off, and that's the one positive. There's still time to right the wrongs of the first 40 minutes. So if I'm Craig Berube, hey guys, at the end of the day, it's not about yelling, screaming, kicking over garbage cans. We need these points. It's crucial for us finishing first in the division. We need a good final stretch here.
Yeah, and the other key point is the point. I mean, if you push it into extras, into overtime or a shootout, you still get the point. So forget about the regulation result if you're on the south end of the scoreboard.
Yes, and Maple Leafs, when it comes to regulation and overtime wins, hold the tiebreaker. They've done their job most of the season in getting that extra point, not in a shootout, but actually in the overtime. So I think they have the advantage over most teams just with their firepower, right? They probably have 2.5, 3-man units that can go over there and score at any given time. So like I said, you can't necessarily look, hey, we need 2 goals to get this win. It starts with 1. It starts with killing off the penalty. Starts with getting through the first 5 minutes. It starts with Woll getting a couple saves and sort of getting the feel for the period, and then just finding a way to go over line by line and just slowly do your best to try to take back momentum and take over, hopefully, the game.
This is Molson Canadian Leafs Hockey on TSN 1050 and the Leafs Radio Network.
Your sneakers are staring directly at you. You try to look away, but you can't. You're laced to face. They're saying, Rome wasn't built in a day, and your six-pack won't be either. But you've got to start somewhere. Stop staring. Put us on. Take that first step, or lunge, or squat. Start small. Start somewhere. Join for $7.99 every 2 weeks at fitforless.ca and experience fitness simplified. Some conditions apply. Fit for Less. Everybody happy.
This is a message from United Way to a Jesse M. of Mississauga. Hello, Jesse. You might be wondering why we made an ad specifically for you. Because, Jesse, you see, we're fighting poverty any way we can. Even cold calling a complete stranger over the radio. Bold, isn't it? Together, we can make sure everyone has what they need, like food, housing, good jobs, and mental health supports. Join people like Jesse to build a better GTA. Donate today at unitedwaygt.org. Thanks, Jesse.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Have you noticed the musty smell in your home? I hope not, because damp smells mean that you could have a crawl space problem. That's where Groundworks comes in. They can honestly assess your situation and create a plan to waterproof your crawl space and get to the root cause of the problem. Schedule your free inspection at groundworks.ca/row. And while you're there, check out my latest dirty job. It's a good one.
Licensed where work is performed. See website for details.
Red and white. It runs through the veins of everyone who calls our country home. It brings us closer together, no matter where we are. This spring, patients across Canada need you to give a little red and white. Canadian Blood Services needs 450 new blood and plasma donors every day to fuel Canada's lifeline. Let's get Canada's blood pumping. Book an appointment today at blood.ca/450.
Only a few days left to enjoy our very best prices with the Air France Rendezvous. It's time to book your rendezvous with Paris, starting at $765, or Madrid, starting at $885 return. From Toronto, tax included. You can enjoy a glass of champagne however you fly, economy included. Elegance is a journey. Air France. Book by April 2nd. Travel from March 17th to June 28th and from August 24th to November 30th, 2025. See conditions at airfrance.ca.
Read product label and follow directions.
Fatty foods, alcohol, and excessive sugar can all put stress on your liver, resulting in low energy, restless sleep, and an expanding waistline. Help keep your liver healthy and cleanse your body daily with Active Liver from New Nordic. Available in tablet or gummy, Active Liver's high-quality ingredients like milk thistle and turmeric extracts are proven to promote a healthy liver. Find Active Liver at Shoppers Drug Mart, Walmart, Loblaws, Superstores, Metro, and London Drugs, or online at Amazon and newnordic.ca.
The Out-of-Town Scoreboard is brought to you by Maple Toyota. You don't have to go to town for a great new Tundra RAV4 gas or hybrid. Maple Toyota has them in stock and ready to deliver. Visit mapletoyota.com. Here's what we have. Midway through the third, Avs 4-0 over the Kings. Midway through the third, Seattle 5-1 over Edmonton. The rest are done. Flyers 6-4 over the Habs. Ottawa 4-3 over the Wings. Sabres 7-3 over the Penguins. Lightning 8-0 over Utah. It was the Wild 4-2 over the Capitals. Blues 3-2 over the Predators, and the Stars 5-2 over the Flames. In our game, 4-3 San Jose over the Leafs after 40 minutes of play. Oh, yes, Guy, the third period is next. This is Molson Canadian Leafs Hockey on TSN 1050, the iHeartRadio app, and the Leafs Radio Network.
Hey Daddy Gang, this is Alex Cooper. The SiriusXM app is your home for all things Unwell. All new exclusive channels from me and my friends. Unwell Music. The latest episodes of your favorite podcasts. Amy Schumer, Monica Lewinsky, Nicole Richie and Paris Hilton, Winnie Harlow, welcome back.
Hello, Power Daddy.
And more live, unfiltered conversations for the girls.
We're gonna believe this. Who was it?
Why? Just search Unwell in the SiriusXM app.
The best player analysts and insiders live on NHL Network Radio. Mike Johnson.
If you would have asked me, what's the one record that would never, ever, ever be broken? Was the 894 goals. Every single day he scores, that's sort of the lead story in the NHL. And yet here's Ovi about to do it, and he's going to push through 900 goals, and he could push to 1,000 if he wanted to if he played 3 more seasons.
Get the latest opinion and analysis you need on the home of hockey, NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91, and the SiriusXM app.
Hey, Jim Rome here. What's cracking?
Hi.
Hope you're enjoying the game. And when you're not taking in a game, find us on Sirius Channel 161, XM Channel 206. In fact, we'll be there every weekday afternoon, 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Time. If you've got something you want to break down from this game, you know where to find us. Just make sure you have it taken. Don't suck.
Step your game up.
That has never changed. In fact, the show has never changed. We're just back home. And it's great to be there. Sirius 161, XM 206. See you there.
It's soccer's most thrilling league.
Only the Premier League can make you feel like this.
And now every match is on the SiriusXM app.
Can you believe it?
From the title race.
This is remarkable. Keeps this title charge on track, surely.
To the relegation fight.
The impossible may still be possible.
Hear every English Premier League match on SiriusXM FC 157 and the SiriusXM app. Just search for your favorite club. The biggest names in the game.
Trying to get behind Ristolainen and walks in, put it between his legs, shoots and scores!
NHL play-by-play on SiriusXM.
Let's go to the third period, trailing in the game, and when trailing this year, they are 7-20-1. This is sort of uncharted area for San Jose, who have led only and have been 11-7-4 when they've led after 2 periods of play.
Yes, it's only the 23rd time this season as San Jose has taken the lead into the third period, and they've only won half of them.
So the Leafs have an opportunity here that they're going to have to win a period. And Scotty Laughton getting his first goal as a Leaf.
And we have seen, too, where Max Domi gets a 10-minute misconduct. So he will miss a chunk of this third period, which is the last thing Craig Berube needs to do. Try to match lines for first half of a period when you're trying to come back.
Well, one would think Laughton would probably slide into the center ice slot.
Yep.
And
now you've had pretty good shifts, too, from Steven Lorentz and David Kampf.
Yes, you have. Yep.
So sometimes you'll see that Willie Nylander or Mitch Marner will drop down to the fourth line in these circumstances. Double shift.
The Leafs will defend the goal to our right and the Sharks to the left. We're ready here as the puck is dropped and we're underway, and it's cleared to the left wing side, but Celebrini gets it in and shoots it around the boards into the Toronto end. Toffoli finds him again. A centering pass came in front. Tanev was able to knock it away, played it to himself in the corner, but couldn't get it out. Long shot directed wide of the Leaf goal, and it's brought out at center ice now by Marner. Marner in across the line with a couple of little moves, tried to find Matthews, and the pass comes back into the slot. Marner with a nifty move to maintain possession, gives it off to Riley. Riley works down, tries to center, he did. It'll come back to the point, kept in at the blue line. No, it's not actually. Marner couldn't keep it in, and he's played it all the way back to Joey Wall, who gets it ahead for Riley, who was going to shoot it in. Much better pass that time from Wall than the last one. Nylander unable to get to his man as the Sharks get it in across the line. Magamadoulan had it knocked off his stick, and now Nylander breaks it back the other way to Tavares. Tavares stops up at the near half boards, cycles it back along, deflected in front, and a sharp angle shot by McMahon is stopped by Georgiev as Bobby McMahon got a hold of that in a big-time hurry off a nice little touch pass from Nylander.
Boy, pretty sharp angle, but we've seen a couple of leaks through Georgiev already in this game, so the Leafs get the penalty kill they needed to start the third period now, and now it's time for offense. And one thing you and I talked about in the second intermission off air was Joseph Wall is going to have to be perfect here in the third period.
Draw to the right in the Shark zone. Matthews line out there. Nylander has joined McMahon and Matthews. Centering pass, and Matthews couldn't get. McMahon shot. Went off a body. Shot by Matthews is stopped by the goaltender. Played to the line and kept in now for Nylander. Nylander left wing side. Riley fanned on it completely. And the Sharks have it now with Toffoli trying to get it out, and he does. Brought in over the line by the Sharks on the far side. Wenberg drops it back to the blue line. Nylander slow to react to getting to a puck on the near side. Liljegren, who has a couple of assists against his former mates here tonight, plays it down into the Toronto zone. And now it is Oliver Ekman-Larsson losing it. And a shot went off a leg and went wide. Kept alive now on the near boards by Lund. Back to the point it goes. Liljegren looking for a pass but can't get it. Leafs have gotten a player with a broken stick, but it is exchanged. Liljegren works down on the right side, played it back into the slot, fired on, a shot stopped by Wall, and he makes a pretty good save there to hang on Carlson, and it'll be brought back for a face-off in the Toronto end.
Morgan Riley, some frustration, fanning on an opportunity moments before the Leafs were under siege in their own zone. And what's amazing was Celebrini playing in this game along with Austin Matthews and John Tavares. I'll give you an interesting stat. When you think you get the first overall pick, you're going to be a Stanley Cup contender every year. Not so fast. I'll give you that in a minute.
All right. Face off to the right in the Toronto end. Lawton taking the draw. Nyes working with Robertson and Lawton here. Puck pushed back towards the blue line. Off to the right wing side. Desharnais can't shoot it at the net. Rings the boards. Lawton getting to it. Robertson chipping it and getting it to the line, but not out. Puck is still in the Toronto end. Round back of the net wall. Onto the near corner for McCabe. McCabe to Tanev. Tanev gets it out at center. And now Robertson trying to play the puck to himself. Ran into a traffic jam. And it's shot right back down into the Toronto end. Tanev starting out on a pass from his goaltender. Got it up on the right wing side for Lawton, and now to Robertson. Robertson has it poked away. Took his man down. Penalty coming to Toronto.
We even yet?
Yes. Yes, we are, Mr. Rao. I'll just double check that now for you. 3 apiece.
2 minutes for tripping.
Nick Robertson couldn't handle the puck on the far boards, and it came out to Will Smith. And Robertson got caught reaching and got the skate blade right into the sticks of the San Jose forward.
Penalty kill brought to you by CMC Markets. Take your trading to the next level with $0 commission on stocks. Big kill here for the Maple Leafs, trailing by a goal. Sharks work it around back of the Toronto goal. Get it back to the point. Delabrini down low. A jam play on the far side. They score!
Tyler Toffoli again.
Second goal of the game and third point of the evening.
Tyler Toffoli has been a Leaf killer this year. And this is a great pass across the top of the crease. Wall had gone down near the left post. Pass goes through to the other face-off circle, and Tyler Toffoli just rips it past Wall, and the Leafs down 2 again.
So a costly penalty taken by Nick Robertson. And the Leafs fall behind by a pair once more. Brought to center ice now by Toronto and in on the wing. Backhanded by Yarncrook to the far side. Lorenz plays it back deeper behind the net. Quickly brought by Liljegren back out at center ice and sent in to the Toronto blue line. That'll force Yarncrook back in behind the Toronto goal. Power play goal and the first of the game for the Sharks.
From 72 Eklund and 71.
And it is a 5-3 San Jose lead. Back of the net. The Leafs get it back to the point. Wrist shot coming, and it's high and wide of the goal. Kept in by Benoit. Back of the net for Lorenz. That bounced away from him. And Patrick Gillies will get it out at center and down into the Leaf end. And an icing call coming as Benoit is back there to be in position. And so it'll come back with 15:59 left to play in the third period.
All right, going back to that first overall pick stat. Since 2009, when John Tavares was first overall to the New York Islanders, only 2 first overall picks have won Stanley Cups. Aaron Ekblad last year became the second. Nathan McKinnon the only other.
Wow. No guarantees in this league.
Boy, have the Leafs self-destructed in this game.
They really have. Really have.
Short-handed goal, bad penalties. Joseph Wall's giveaway.
Played out at center and down into neutral ice. Into the Leaf zone it goes. Riley will reverse the puck for Oliver Ekman-Larsson, who gives it to Tavares. Tavares to center. One-hands it, but doesn't get it in. And the Sharks, trying to play it back in over the line, have it knocked away, and Tavares will leave it for Oliver Ekman-Larsson. He picked up his 500th career point on an assist in the second period. And the Leafs don't get the puck deep, and the Sharks get it back in on the right side. Graff centering. Good pad save made there by Wall. And the Sharks have it again. Wenberg working the far left wing boards. Gets it back to the point. Back to Wenberg and a shot. That deflected by the rebound. Stopped on the short side by Wall. The rebound comes up on the near side for Nylander. He'll skate it out. And he'll just get it down into the offensive zone and peel to the bench. Changes coming here. Under 15 minutes to play. Third period. Matthews couldn't break up the rush. Sent by the Sharks back down into Toronto territory. Tanev circles the goal with it. Now looks to make a pass. Still has it. Works into the slot area for McCabe. McCabe getting it up at center. And Matthews trying to secure the puck. Gets it back to McCabe on the left wing. And he'll alley-oop it deep into the zone. Played by Ferraro back along the boards, but Marner was there. Marner working back towards the blue line, still has it. Into the slot, closing in on goal. Rolls in on goal, and it's knocked away before Nyes could deliver a rebound opportunity. Sharks get it back to the other side, and a pass for Will Smith was out of his reach. Smith in the corner. Hooked to the ice by McCabe. Penalty call coming to Toronto.
And McCabe's got a cut on his chin. This is one of those plays. He's got one hand on his stick. And the San Jose player felt it. Sort of clamped on, and down he went. And San Jose Sharks now go on their 4th consecutive power play.
I think, are we going to a commercial? Not sure yet. All right.
Oh, yeah. This is Will Smith does a great job of clamping onto the stick of Jake McCabe.
He let it go.
You know what? Yeah. I mean, this, you can almost call it holding the stick as much as you can call it a hook.
So McCabe joins Domi in the box. Max serving a misconduct penalty. And the Sharks can really put a dagger into this one with a power play goal. They get it off on the left wing side. Back for Celebrini on the right wing. Down into the corner. A centering pass is going to be intercepted by Tanev. He's going to skate the center ice and just shoot it down into Shark territory, and a change of players coming for the Maple Leafs. Period brought to you by Molson. Whether it's Canadian, Ultra, Export, or XL, there's a Molson with your name on it. Sharks to center and in. Broken up at the Leaf defense, but they managed to get a loose puck into the corner to settle. Back to the point. Off on the near wing for Celebrini, and now to Toffoli. Down into the corner it goes. Another trip there as Oliver Ekman-Larsson took down his man Eklund. Back it comes to Eklund, and the shot deflected wide of the goal. Carlo was upended there by Toffoli going to the back of the goal. Ferrero along the near boards. Eklund back to the point, walking the line. Cannoni is now into the slot area, broken up by the Leafs, and they're going to get it out at center ice. Lawton forces it back to the blue line. 48 seconds left in the power play. Sharks unable to keep it in, and it's out and down the ice. Goaltender plays it around back of his goal for Cannoni, and now left there for Colin Graff. And Graff sends it up on the left wing. Graff comes to center. Right-handed shot, gets it in on the right wing. Lund into the corner, playing it around back of the net. Comes back to the blue line for Makamadullin. He plays it in deep and around back of the goal with a dozen seconds left in the penalty. Back to the point, it comes to the near side. Shooting, and a glove save made by Wall off the stick of Timothy Liljegren. With 7 seconds remaining in the power play, but time is becoming a factor. Leafs down by a pair with 12:16 left to play in the third period.
Tyler Toffoli is really doing a number on the Leafs this season. At the tying goal in the third period in Toronto. And then I believe he scored the goal that extended the overtime. And then it was Fabian Zetterlund, who's since been dealt to the Ottawa Senators, scored the shootout winner.
Some pretty good games against the Leafs when he was in Montreal, too. Played in over the line and down into the Toronto zone. Scooped by Wall along the boards. Penalty expires. Matthews with Marner and across the line. Matthews got a shot away, but it was a weak one. And Georgiev had no trouble handling that. And the Sharks get it out at center. They're trying to get a player without a stick replaced, and they do, as it's now shot in by Toronto. Matthews with a good hit on the forecheck. Puck back of the net. Nice drill from behind. Penalty coming here, I believe.
Could have probably put $1 on that one too, right?
Yeah. I think Makamadullin is going to end up going to the penalty box here, as he drilled Matthew Nyes from behind with a cross-check. And so the Leafs will go to the power play down a pair. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN 1050 and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
The Point with Boomer Gordon.
For months I've been listening to hockey people warn the Sabres, don't move on from Dylan Cousins. This is the one you'll regret. The fact that you're trading in division is amazing to me. This guy can come back and haunt you like every Sabre does. But if I'm an Ottawa Senators fan, Jake, I'm over the moon on this trade.
Point with Boomer Gordon.
1 p.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio,
Sirius XM 91 and the Sirius XM app. It's soccer's most thrilling league.
Only the Premier League can make you feel like this.
And now every match is on the Sirius XM app.
Can you believe it?
From the title race.
This is remarkable. Keeps this title charge on track, surely.
To the relegation fight.
The impossible may still be possible.
Hear every English Premier League match on Sirius XM FC 157 and the Sirius XM app. Just search for your favorite club.
What's up, insiders? All right, there I am. Holy Mackinac. I got to turn that down. All right, there I am. Holy. Anyways, Let's go. We're bringing a bunch of people from the Arkansas and Texas Tech overtime matchup that just ended. I'm going to play that awesome video that Leafs Jelly HD made for our Bracket Mania campaign, and then they're going to be here to help cheer on our comeback. Get loud. Go Leafs go. Back to the hockey. Let's finish strong. It's late, but we're here hanging out on TSI. Let's have some fun.
So, giving up a short-handed goal when they were on the power play. And how big is that? That and the gaff by Wall, and there's your 2 goals that are the deciding factor in this contest at this point. Draw is scrummed. It rolled in on Georgiev. He steered it aside, and it's quickly shot down the ice by San Jose. Marner back to retrieve the puck. Starts up on the wing, then drops the puck back. Carried through neutral ice by Matthews. Dropped off for Nylander. He gains the zone. In with a wrist shot. Knocked away by Georgiev. Along the boards, Nyes getting it back to the point. Marner just did keep it in. Got it along the wall and back of the net into the far corner for Tavares. A blind backhand pass to the slot. No one there. Shot out and down the ice by the Sharks. Marner will get back there to start it up again and gives it to Matthews, who's going to gain the zone. In for Nyes. Matthew Nyes got it back in along the boards. Tries to get it back again. That draws a crowd on the near wing. It'll come to Marner. Into the slot for Nylander. Nylander works to the far half boards. Now carries around back of the net. Still with it. Looking in front. Still with it to the near half boards. Tried to flip it in front. That's blocked and shot out and down the ice. And the second unit will come on as the puck remains in the non-trapezoidal area. Wall can't go to it. Riley has to go back to retrieve it.
Interesting to see who's in the second unit with Max Domi still in the box.
Brought out now by the Leafs. Here's Lawton to center. There's your answer. Down in along the boards, but a bad pass, and it's back out at center ice. Half minute to go in the power play. Drop pass for Lawton. He has it knocked away, or at least Robertson, and he has to go all the way back to retrieve it. Robertson will give it to Morgan Riley. Riley starts out of his own end. Looks to drop and does. Robertson with speed coming through the neutral ice and into the zone. Got it off on the wing. It comes around on the near boards. Tipped to the line. No one there. It's back out at center ice. Leafs haven't gotten the puck into the offensive zone with any control here as yet. And now it's stolen, and trying to barge his way in was William Eklund. He lost it, and Robertson, with the penalty expired, dropping it back in his own end. Power play went for naught without a shot on goal. Or if there was one, it was a weak one. Sharks with it again. Trying to win for the second time against the Maple Leafs in a month. And you add Nashville into that mix. And 2 of the lesser lights in this league have really damaged the Leafs' efforts in trying to win the division. Puck maintained by San Jose. Along the boards, Pellegrini was knocked down, and now here's Nyes coming away at center. Tried to get in over the line. Did, but couldn't get through the defense. Puck along the boards. In now for Marner. Marner trying to kick it up to his stick. Got it freed up for Nyes. His centering pass for Matthews was behind him. Cleared by the Sharks to center ice. 8.5 minutes to go in the third. McCabe across the line for Nyes. Right wing side for Tanev. Swept around back of the net. No one there. Nyes with a hit, but can't come up with the puck. Marner does to poke it back of the goal. Engages his man Liljegren back there, and it is grabbed off now and will be pushed to center ice by Wenberg, or I thought it was. Leafs are able to keep it in. Nylander now circles the net on his backhand. Works to the right wing boards. Then overskated the puck, and it's shot out at center ice. Brought right back in by Cam Lund, who sends it down into the Toronto end. Tanev has to go back. He'll reverse the puck along the boards. Tavares for Tanev. Tanev tried to make a pass up the middle. That was broken up. And now McCabe with a bank pass. That went off a stick. But it's going to be an icing call with 7:33 left to play in the third period. And the Maple Leafs are squandering a wonderful opportunity to make some hay in their division.
Just 3 shots on goal so far here in the third period as well. Leafs got back to within 1 in the second, but San Jose has restored their 2-goal lead with a power play goal by Tyler Toffoli. Toffoli's second of the game.
Face off to the right of Joseph Wall. And the draw won by the Sharks. A wrist shot deflects wide of the net, back of the net. Tanev engaged back there by Cam Lund. Tavares working up on the wing, kicked it up the boards, and then finally gets it on his stick. And a quick pass will get the Leafs out into the neutral zone, and it'll be rolled into the offensive end as Nylander goes into the forecheck. Puck comes around the boards, though, and the Sharks are going to get it out. Toffoli was going to get it out, fanned on it the first time, then sends it down into the Toronto end. Carlo chased after it as it comes free for Yarncrook. Back of the net into the far corner for Benoit. He couldn't get there in time to get his stick on it cleanly. Tavares takes his man to the boards. Coming out with it is Grundstrom as it comes back to the point with a shot that's wide. Rebound short side. Toffoli almost had his third. Comes back to the blue line again. Toffoli with it on the far half boards. Sends it into the slot area. Shot, pad save. Good save made there by Wall. And it'll be brought by Lawton to center. Lawton to the line. Spun around and knocked down. Back come the Sharks in across the line. They'll play it deep into the Toronto zone. And time is not an ally of the Maple Leafs. Down 5-3 with 6:20 to play in the third period. At center for David Camp. Camp in on the wing for Lorenz. Lorenz, a nice move to get back of the net to play it back to the blue line. Riley goes D to D, looks for a return pass. It's not forthcoming. Then a shot wide. Riley with a rebound hit the side of the goal just wide of the post, and he had room there if he'd have hit it. Sharks get it up and out and down into the Leaf end, but not iced. Quick up by Toronto. Camp playing it back and now going to the bench. Oliver Ekman-Larsson needs to stretch it out again. He'll look for his defense partner and find him in the far corner. Morgan Riley will come to center. Gets to the red line. Got it in over the line for Nyes. Into the corner. Matthews unable to track it down. Quickly played off a stick to center ice. And Jake McCabe has to go back into his own end. McCabe banking it off the end boards for Tanev. Tanev with a rink-wide pass, finding McCabe in stride. McCabe got it in over the line, but didn't get it in deep. And the Sharks have gotten it back out into neutral ice. Marner will try his luck. Ahead for Matthews. Surrounded, but gets it into the zone. Tried to play it back, but it went off a skate. Then Matthews took a run at Celebrini. The puck comes in over the line. Smith trying to drive the net. Couldn't. Comes back to the point. Liljegren coasts in on the right side for the Sharks. Going wide against Nyes. Puck comes free. Grabbed off by Colin Graff. Graff back of the net. Wraparound attempt by Wenberg didn't work. Then a shot is blocked in front of the net by Nyes, who comes up limping after it. The puck on the far boards back to the point. Kept alive there by the Sharks. Back along the boards to the near side. Wenberg keeping it back of the net. And finally, Nyes, who blocked that shot, got it to the line but didn't get it out. Here's another chance for Toffoli, who was upended. And Matthews finally gets it out into the center ice area. Marner will force things a little deeper to allow his mates to change, but the time has ticked away. 4:05 left to play in the third period.
Joseph Wall, you would think, is coming soon, right?
One would anticipate. Shot by McMahon into the offensive zone. Nylander unable to block it to get it back of the net. Sharks play it to the Toronto blue line. Riley shooting it back out. McMahon in across the line with room on the left wing. Driving for a shot that was stopped by Georgiev. Kept alive at the blue line. Off the skate of Riley. It comes to center ice. We can't see the net. Now we do. Wall is still in. 3.5 minutes to play. Leafs are going to send it down into Shark territory. Down a pair. Need a little lightning in a jar here as the Sharks will get it out and down the ice. Icing waved off. Wall has it back of the net, playing it up on the wing. Up ahead for Matthews. Matthews to center. Shot it in over the line. Anticipating Wall leaving the net, but so far no Now, well, he's right at the Toronto bench, so he might as well go, right? Well, I said, now he finally does, and the net is empty, and the extra attacker on. And it's Nylander who carries in. Took a shot, it went wide. Marner on the far half boards back into the corner for Willie. Nylander around the boards to the near side. Trapped there by Oliver Ekman-Larsson. Back of the net, looking for Matthews. Matthews into the corner for Nylander. Nylander looks for a return pass. Matthews takes it to the point on the near wing. A shot by Marner's blocked at the empty net. Missed. And icing should be called.
Hit the post. They're outside of it.
I guess. No call. Matthews gets a long up, though, from Riley. Fed around the boards to the far side. Shot down the ice. And it's going to be wide of the net. But there is a race for the puck won by Will Smith, so no icing. Tired group out here for Toronto. Nyes on the wing. Matthews shoots it in. Tavares down the boards. Nyes is able to get to it, but it's stolen. Shot down the ice. Rolling to the empty net. Won't get there. Marner caught up to it. Minute 46 to go. Pass for Matthews. They got to be on here for what, 2.5 minutes? Kept in by Nyes. Centering pass. Oh, they had Nylander down the slot. Couldn't connect. Willie has it on the far half boards. Drops for Matthews. Drops again on the point from Marner. A shot. Tavares couldn't redirect. Tavares got it out in front and came off the stick and comes to the line, but not out. Leafs keep it alive with McCabe. Back of the Tavares in front. Nyes was dog-tired and couldn't get to it. Now it's iced, and now there will be an icing call with 1:10 to go. Nyes is just dead on his skates.
You know, Joe, you can look back at the Nashville game and say, okay, it was a one-off. You know, you blew a 2-0 lead in Nashville after the first period. But now, combine this, it looks like it's going to be back-to-back losses to the San Jose Sharks. So Nashville 30th in the NHL, San Jose 32nd. I guess the good news is you beat 28th place Philadelphia a couple of nights ago, but the Toronto Maple Leafs are going to fall to 3rd place in the division unless there's a miracle comeback here. It'll be a 3-way tie, but the Panthers will have a game in hand, so they'll be slotted ahead of the Leafs. And they'll be tied with the Tampa Bay Lightning, but Tampa will have more regulation wins.
And pretty much the same amount of games left, if I'm not mistaken, Mr. Ralph.
For Tampa, yeah, but Florida will have a game in hand.
Game in hand now, yes. Tyler Toffoli has scored a couple of goals.
Imagine you enter the game in first
and end up third. Well, that's how tightly bunched it is. And 1:10 does not leave you an awful lot of time to find some magic in a jar. Face off in the Shark end of the rink. The draw to the right of the San Jose goal. Tavares scrums the draw, but it's grabbed off by the Sharks. They ring the boards with it. Another icing, but tick-tock, tick-tock. 1:03 left to play in the third period.
Big concern from a Leafs standpoint is the defensive play. I mean, you had the gaff by Wall, but a shorthanded goal. Lack of discipline with Max Domi taking a double minor to 10-minute misconduct.
He just did escape the penalty box. That long siege the Leafs had. Here's a wrist shot by Marner, scoring! A deflection in front. Tavares was there. And with 57.1 seconds left, it's going to be a one-goal hockey game. And now those gaffes look even bigger.
Yeah, and you're right. I think it was John Tavares in front. A great redirection on the wrist shot by Mitch Marner. So Tavares wins the draw, which is huge. Well, they scrum the draw, but the Leafs get it back to the point. And Tavares with the redirection that goes blocker side and Georgiev. And there's a slimmer of hope left here. 58.3 seconds to go.
19:01 will be the official time of the goal from John Tavares, who pots number 33 on the season. Here we go again. Tavares to the line and in. On the wing, got it back again, and a shot from an angle was deflected wide of the goal. Rebound back to the blue line to Riley. 45 seconds into the corner, Tavares. On to Willie. Nylander in the near corner again. Back to the point, it'll come to Morgan Riley. Walks the line, no shot. Back to Nylander. Cross ice goes to Riley again. Back to Willie. Nylander slides by one. Down into the corner. Lots of traffic in front of the goal. Here's Marner with it. Still with it. Back to the point. Riley to Nylander. To Marner. Marner, a one-timer by Matthews. Stopped by Georgiev. Centering pass in front of the goal. They score! Nylander! Do you believe this? They've tied the game with 6 attackers. 12 seconds left in the third. From being down and out to being into a tie and possible overtime with a dozen seconds left.
Boy, and it looked like Georgiev saved the day with a great stop off Austin Matthews. But Matthews retrieves the puck behind the net, gets it to Mitch Marner, and who better to find his seam than Marner as he goes across the top of the crease onto the stick of Nylander, whose quick shot beats Georgiev before he can get over. And the Leafs will not slip to third place. Now still, the point is huge. Regulation would have been better, but the Leafs, it will appear, will get a point out of this at least.
42nd goal of the season for Willie Nylander. My goodness.
Well, you and I had both already unplugged and
no, we're unplugged. I packed up, ready to go home. Yep.
Let me just double check. Yep, 5-5.
Yo, it is. Oh, it's official. All right, we will go to a commercial break before heading to overtime. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN 1050 and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Breaking story from Alpine News Network. Jan owns a home and a restaurant fusing French and Mexican cuisine. But she is fusing no more because her ovens have gone kaput. She called Alpine Credits, who sent their speedy superhero. With her business loan approved, her ovens were quickly fixed. The hero even had some of her poutine nachos. Yum! Own your home? Need a loan? Alpine Credits can help.
Alpine Credits, where homeowners get approved. Just for license 12616.
This is a message from United Way.
Insiders. Toronto. We the North. That's what we do. We come back, Leafs fans. Willie Nylander with the tying goal. Man, that was crazy. Leafs down 5-3, and we come back with 2 empty net goals after a missed icing call off of that shot off the post. I called games at Germain Arena with the Florida Everblades, which we have now surpassed the capacity of here on Toronto Sports Insider, for streams with Don Orey of Team Canada. And he used to come over, he'd say, knock on my shoulder, and say, Mike, is that a shot on goal, yes or no? That was not a shot on goal. It hit the post. By definition of the rule, it's not a shot on goal. That should have been icing. Referee, you should be ashamed of yourself. Now let's get back to the hockey. Go Leafs, go! I am as close to heaven as a man can get. Thank you all for hanging out with us all day long on Bracket Mania. Now let's get to overtime. Come on, buds. Who's going to score the goal? Let us know in the chat. Go Leafs, go! And who's your pick to get the goal? You all rock.
And
but I mean, first, what a great save by Georgiev, but what a pass. I mean, what a pass by Mitch Marner. I mean, there's so much traffic in the slot, and he finds that lane to get it across the slot to Willie Nylander.
So the change ends, Leafs to the left and the Sharks to the right. And we go to overtime.
Tavares and Matthews to start.
Puck is dropped, and Tavares goes right to the bench after the face-off win. And McCabe will take the puck back into his own zone. Matthews and Marner are out there as well. Marner has the puck back in his own zone. Looks to make a pass, gets it ahead to Matthews, who circles back. Looks to the near side for Morgan Riley, who's over the boards now. Now here's Matthews working in on the near side. Drops for Marner. Shot stopped, and it's cleared to the line, but not out. Riley will keep it into Matthews in the slot. Holding and getting a shot away, and off a stick it goes up into the screen, out of play, as we played 35 seconds into the overtime.
Pretty good.
This is just unbelievable.
Pretty good play by Matthews. Takes it down deep and throws it to the high slot where Marner's one-timer is stopped.
Overtime records. The Leafs are 8-3 and San Jose 5-9.
Of course, what goes into that is the shootout win by San Jose and Toronto.
Tavares and Nylander up front. Tavares scrums the draw, has it in his skates, got it freed up in front of the net, and a shot went off a leg and went wide. Now it's the Sharks' turn. McAmadulin gets across the line and works in wide against the Leafs. Knocked into the corner. Tavares trying to free it up to get it back, and he does. And Oliver Ekman-Larsson has it back of the net. I would have thought the Shark player there would have just tried to maintain some possession, but the Leafs took it away, and now Nylander working in on the left wing. Willie looking for a third of the game. Drops it off. Matthews doesn't shoot it. Gets it into the slot, and a wrist shot there is swallowed up by Georgiev, and he'll hold.
Boy, Willie Nylander with a great burst down the left wing side, then pulls up on Will Smith before delivering it over to Austin Matthews. Matthews, I think, thought about the one-timer.
Draw on the San Jose end of the rink is won by the Sharks. It'll be pushed around the boards to the far side. A one-on-one rush. Riley was back. It's dropped off now to Celebrini. Celebrini with a shot. Wall to save. And another face-off coming in the Toronto zone this time with 3:35. And the Sharks haven't decided to try to maintain some possession to work it around. Two rushes they've had. They've gone right to the shot initially. And now the face-off in the Toronto end. A 5-5 tie, a shootout in San Jose, and the Leafs come off the mat to tie the game in the final minute with 2 goals with 6 attackers on the ice. Tavares lost this face-off, but it comes out into the center ice area, and Liljegren goes back for it. Liljegren will drop it off. Celebrini works to the right wing side and in. Celebrini to the left wing, trying to find Toffoli. He couldn't handle it cleanly. Goes back to the youngster, and Celebrini will take it back out into neutral ice. To Toffoli on right wing. Guarded there by Tavares. Celebrini around back of the net. Toffoli trying to come out in front of the net. To the far side. Celebrini couldn't take a one-timer. Gets it to Toffoli back in front. Celebrini with it again, working back to the blue line. And it's going to come out into neutral ice. This time the Sharks do try to maintain some possession with 2:50 left in overtime. Liljegren will drop it back. If you stayed up with us this long, you are a diehard. And across the line now for Eklund. His shot was blocked, and it's grabbed off by Nylander, and Nylander with 2.5 minutes to go starts out of his own end. With speed down the right wing is Nylander. Into the slaughter, he's in a goal! Pad save made by Georgiev. And now with Domi out on the ice, the puck comes up on the left wing for William Eklund. Eklund closes. Good block. The rebound carried into the corner on a good play by Bobby McMahon. McMahon trying to poke it free, and he does. McMahon ahead along with Domi. McMahon in a goal. Stopped by the goaltender. The rebound covered up and thrown aside, but the Leafs are going to get it back. Another shot high wide by Riley goes into the corner. Played all the way back into the Leaf end.
Well, how many times has Morgan Riley missed the net tonight?
Riley starts back. Great play by Bobby McMahon at one end and then taking it the rest of the way. He had Domi, but decided to take it to the net. Here comes Matthews to the line with 1:35. Dropping there, but it's knocked away. And out comes Celebrini with a pass. Knocked away by Marner. Fed ahead for Matthews. He now turns, and he and Marner are through center. 2-on-2 rush. Matthews into the slot. Took a shot. Hit the goal post. The rebound comes up on the right wing. And out at center ice comes Smith. Will Smith dropping. Celebrini can't shoot it. Works it down into the corner. Still with it. Celebrini turning on the left wing, passes into the slot, and it's deflected by a Leaf stick up into the screen with 1:04 to go in overtime.
Boy, Austin Matthews with a great opportunity. That was after Willie Nylander took it to the net, but Matthews clanks it off the crossbar. Oh. It looked like Morgan Riley. The shot I thought missed the net. Just picked off the glove of Georgiev.
So we are 1:04 away from a shootout. Draw one by the Sharks. Down the left wing comes Eklund. He works around back of the net. Bouncing puck comes back to the blue line, and it's going to be carried back out into the center ice area. Toffoli drops it off, and unable to penetrate there was Wenberg. Now in on the left wing it comes. Eklund trying to drive, but Tavares had the angle on him. It comes back out into the slot with a shot, and that goes off the skate of Tavares and up into the screen. 34.1 seconds remain in the overtime.
There are no more important face-offs than overtime. That's why you see John Tavares come out, take the opening face-off of overtime, win the draw, and then go to the bench for Mitch Marner to come on and replace him. But a huge one here. And we got Matthews back out with Marner and Oliver Ekman-Larsson.
Macklin Celebrini taking the draw for the Sharks. 2 first overall picks here. And the draw controlled by the Leafs. Matthews starts out. A flip pass to the left wing side. Drop now back for Marner. Marner comes through neutral ice and in. Drops for Matthews into the slot. Can't shoot it yet. Now he works to the front of the goal. And it was knocked away, and it comes to Oliver Ekman-Larsson. Back to Matthews. Matthews to Marner. In the high slot. Still with it. Marner, a nifty move. He's in a goal! Oh, and it went off his stick and over top of the goal. 3 seconds left. Another shot will be stopped, and we're going to go to a shootout.
What a move. I mean, 2 men on him in the slot, and Mitch Marner toe drags it through the skates and gets to the front of the net. That was after the power move by Austin Matthews.
Pellegrini got his stick on it at the first time, and then the second, the one by Marner, he lifted it over top of the goal. So we go to a shootout, and the Maple Leafs this year in shootouts
1-1.
1-1, and the Sharks are 1-4.
Well, and that one win was in Toronto. The Leafs actually had the lead in the shootout, and as mentioned, Hunter Toffoli tied it up. The other Leaf shootout was in Utah. You remember the great move by Mitch Marner that won that one for the Leafs.
So, for the second time, here we go again.
San Jose, yeah.
Zetterlund, I think.
Yeah. Scored on Anthony Stolarz.
Yeah.
So neither of them are in the game now.
Yes.
Zetterlund's in. Boy, is Willie Nylander going first? Usually the home team will go first. They may have allowed the Leafs to take the first one.
Yep.
They have.
And Nylander will take the first shot. He works to the left wing side, cutting across, right-handed shooter, and a backhand scores. It's a hat trick goal that doesn't count as a hat trick for Willie Nylander.
That's the old Matt Sundin play there. Come in with speed, right-handed shot, hold it, and then quickly go forehand, backhand, and up top. Will Smith for San Jose.
He's a right-handed shot. Picks the puck up, weaves to the left wing side. Now cutting across on his forehand and scores with a nifty little move. right at the goal crease. So both shooters have scored. Wow, that was a great move, wasn't it?
Yeah, Joseph Wall was entirely the other side of the net when this was tucked in around his right pad.
And Austin Matthews will shoot second for Toronto. Left-handed shooter weaves to the right wing side, so he's on his forehand as he comes in with a shot, and that is stopped by Georgiev. We're even.
It was a 5-hole attempt by Matthews.
Macklin Celebrini will shoot for the San Jose Sharks. He's a left-handed shooter. Slowly in, a couple of dekes and scores. He undresses Joseph Wall there, and the youngster gives the Sharks the lead, and the Leafs have got to score here or lose the game.
Mitch Marner, I'm guessing.
And you have guessed right. So Mitch Marner has to score here. And here he comes. Right-handed shot, weaves to the left wing side, onto the forehand. In with a backhand, stopped by Georgiev. And the San Jose Sharks, despite giving up a pair of goals with 6 attackers on the ice to force overtime, will win the game by a score of 6-5 in a shootout.
And we will see after game 82, is this an important point that they managed to salvage, or is it a lost opportunity? And for Joseph Wall, this is one to forget. You give up 5 in the game, including one that you bank in off an opposing player trying to play the puck. You get a chance for redemption in the shootout and go 0 for 2. So the Leafs start the Western trip with a shootout loss to the San Jose Sharks. They have this Los Angeles Kings, will be a much tougher, well, I don't know if you could say tougher opponent.
Well, an opponent that is in better position in the standings.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
And you've got the Anaheim Ducks on Sunday, and Anaheim have been able to upset some teams down the stretch as well. So Leafs get a point. They'll move into first place briefly. Florida Panthers will play tomorrow night. So Toronto battles back. Miracle comeback. I'm sure Craig Berube is going to love the fight at the end. But boy, the opportunities the Leafs had in the overtime too. You kind of felt that was the opportunity to put it away, and were just unable to do it.
So we will be with you 7 o'clock on Saturday when the Leafs are tangling with the Kings in Los Angeles. We hope that you will join us then. Leafs lose it in a shootout. You've been listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN 1050 and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
After 7 years away,
it started with a choice, a friendship, and some acoustic instruments.
Mumford & Sons return with a new album,
Rushmere,
and return to their roots.
Light me up, I'm wasted in the dark.
It felt like when we were starting out.
Hear the story behind Rushmere, their complete catalog and rarities, and songs they handpicked for you.
On our very own channel, Mumford & Sons Radio.
Now for a limited time on Channel 79 and at home with the SiriusXM app.
The countdown to history is on. Alexander Ovechkin, one of the greatest to...
What's up, insiders? Oh, man, it's late. It is past 1 a.m. Eastern Time. So close. We were so close, Leafs fans. We almost had it. But, you know what? We do it again all weekend long. Saturday night, hockey night in Canada, and again on Sunday on the West Coast, LA on Saturday night, and then Sunday in LA again. But Anaheim against the Ducks. This has been a fun night here on Toronto Sports Insider with the Bracket Mania campaign. What a day. It started with a great showing. Great to see all of the Blue Jays insiders back in the chat, cheering on our Blue Jays. Unfortunately, we had nothing to cheer about from the long as heck delay in the beginning of the game. Come on, Blue Jays, what are you doing? I mean, I get it. It's opening day. Make some pomp and circumstance. Cap it at like 10, 15 minutes, not 45. 45 minutes? That's why these guys suck today. But that's not why we're here. We're here for the Leafs. And if you've been with us all day through all the college basketball, what a finish to the college basketball. I'm a proud Gator today because my second favorite team, besides FGCU, the Florida Gators, booked their trip to the Elite Eight on Saturday. And then it was a good cap there with the overtime game. Texas Tech with a crazy comeback over Arkansas. And that's the madness, ladies and gentlemen. That is the madness. Thank you all for your help with this amazing campaign that we're doing here. Check out the link. Check out the donation that we made from the Football Frenzy. And let's have some fun this weekend. We'll see you tomorrow. I will let the post-game run as long as someone in Toronto stays awake. I've got work to do to get ready for tomorrow. No rest for the weary, ladies and gentlemen. I am exhausted, but we got this. Mike Stewart, cheers to Mike. Welcome to our chat, man. I haven't seen you before, but hey, thanks for hanging out with us. Never-ending story. The Cubs won. Oh, wow. The Cubs got blown out by the Dodgers there in the International Series. And then, apparently, that's good they won. Glad they won. Don Donaldson, Miss V, Carmen, WJ. I see you there on your beach. Coming one day. One day I'm going to be able to relax on a beach and just send people around with streams. It's time for me to go get that schedule ready for tomorrow and Saturday. Post-game will run. Good night, everybody. Cheers, Canada. Cheers, the United States. Cheers to all over the world. Thank you so much for helping me create this amazing, amazing community where we get to hang out with each other, talk sports, cheer on our favorite teams, and make a difference in real people's lives, in children's lives, in families, in needs' lives. Guys, the stuff that they do at SickKids Hospital is amazing. The stuff, just check out their website, their YouTube page. It's amazing. And just by being here, you're a huge part of it. And with that, I got to get the heck out of here and get back to work. Good night, everybody. Go Leafs, go. We'll see you in the chat.
Latest updates. In the NHL, 7 p.m., Columbus Blue Jackets face the Vancouver Canucks.
Oh, damn.
Jackets on Sirius.
Damn, no. They said no post-game tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Zero post-game. Everybody's too tired in Toronto. Anyways, are Jelly's highlights up? I was talking to Jelly earlier tonight. Make sure you check out Leafs Jelly HD. Keep up the great work over there, Jelly. Can't wait to see what you put together for that 100K video whenever that day comes. And it's coming, insiders. We're going to get it. Carmen, best chat group on YouTube. TSI Mike and TSI Allison. Yes. Yes.
Network Radio, Channel 91. I'm Frank Trachtenberg with your Sirius XM NHL schedule for Friday, March the 28th. All times are Eastern, and please remember, all games, times, and channels are subject to change. Check SiriusXM.com for the latest updates. In the NHL, 7 p.m., Columbus Blue Jackets face the Vancouver Canucks. Jackets on Sirius XM channels 91, Internet 927. Canucks on Internet 948. 7 p.m., Florida Panthers take on the Utah Hockey Club. Panthers on XM 219, Internet 931. Utah on Internet 947. 7 p.m., Carolina Hurricanes face the Montreal Canadiens.
The tournament is here. March Madness is here. The craziness is here. Don't forget, hit that like button down below and share this link out so we can get more basketball fans here in the chat, hanging out with us, cheering on your favorite team.
Clayton steals it and lays it in. Clayton a good look. Hit 6.
Check out our new website, www.torontosportsinsider.com, and check out the link that is in the description as well as in the chat that shows where all of the live viewers are watching from.
Are you an insider yet? Have you hit that subscribe button? I bet you have now. Thank you for doing that. Thank you for checking out our Bracket Mania campaign. A lot more coming up soon.
What a great scene this is.
Stunning. Absolutely stunning.
Hey, you. Yeah, you. This is Joe Bowen, the voice of the Toronto Maple Leafs. Thanks for chatting it up and enjoying this March Madness live hangout with us.
And at City Hall, and we announced the arena deal, Fox and Liberty, and we were coordinated. It was choreographed, and then I was a speechwriter when I was a kid, and I had the blessing to do some work for the governor of New York when he was vice president, Nelson Rockefeller, and he had that famous picture where he was being heckled, and he offered his opinion of that. And that picture of him flipping the bird was, I figured, a nice gift to send Dave Checketts, who was a good friend of mine, by the way.
I love it. I never knew that. I love it. Follow every second of the action on NHL Network Radio. From behind the bench to every play on the ice. If it's hockey, it's on SiriusXM NHL Network Radio. SiriusXM 91.
I'm Frank Trachtenberg with your SiriusXM NHL schedule for Friday, March the 28th. All times are Eastern, and please remember, all games, times, and channels are subject to change. Check SiriusXM.com for the latest updates. In the NHL, 7 p.m., Columbus Blue Jackets face the Vancouver Canucks. Jackets on Sirius and XM channels 91, Internet 927. Canucks on Internet 948. 7 p.m., Florida Panthers take on the Utah Hockey Club. Panthers on XM 219, Internet 931. Utah on Internet 947. 7 p.m., Carolina Hurricanes face the Montreal Canadiens. Hurricanes on XM 220, Internet 924. Canadiens on Internet 934. 8 p.m., Winnipeg Jets take on the New Jersey Devils. Jets on XM 221, Internet 951. Devils on Internet 936. 8:30 p.m., Chicago Blackhawks host the Vegas Golden Knights. Blackhawks on XM 222, Internet 925. Knights on Internet 949. 10 p.m., Anaheim Ducks take on the New York Rangers. Ducks on Sirius and XM channels 91, Internet 920. Rangers on Internet 938. For 24/7 coverage of the NHL season and hockey across the world, keep it locked on SiriusXM NHL Network Radio, Channel 91. I'm Frank Trachtenberg with your SiriusXM NHL schedule for Friday, March the 28th. All times are Eastern, and please remember, all games, times, and channels are subject to change. Check SiriusXM.com for the latest updates. In the NHL, 7 p.m., Columbus Blue Jackets face the Vancouver Canucks. Jackets on Sirius and XM channels 91, Internet 927. Canucks on Internet 948. 7 p.m., Florida Panthers take on the Utah Hockey Club. Panthers on XM219 Internet 931, Utah on Internet 947. 7 p.m., Carolina Hurricanes face the Montreal Canadiens. Hurricanes on XM220 Internet 924, Canadiens on Internet 934. 8 p.m., Winnipeg Jets take on the New Jersey Devils. Jets on XM221 Internet 951, Devils on Internet 936. 8:30 p.m., Chicago Blackhawks host the Vegas Golden Knights. Blackhawks on XM222 Internet 925, Knights on Internet 949.
Hear it all on demand. Your favorite shows, your favorite games. Don't miss a second of your favorite SiriusXM programming on demand with the SiriusXM app. Download it now for free.
Former owner of the Colorado Avalanche, Charlie Lyons, had 7 days to figure out how to keep Joe Sakic from joining the New York Rangers back in '97, and he stopped by SiriusXM NHL Network Radio with Steve Koulias to talk about how a little film called Air Force One helped him feel more confident in the face of this chaos and keep Sakic.
Okay. Coincident with that, we were releasing Air Force One. I had another company, Beacon Communications, run by two terrific film producers, Armin Bernstein and Mark Abraham. And we had decided to make a big movie. There's no guarantee how those things work out, but everything came together